page. Welcome to the N-Will Time Car Talk Show.
You reading your teleprompter?
We've been here for over an hour, and guess who's not ready? Me. Well, coming up, we're going to have a discussion about CDK, which is the software management company that was hacked and has pretty much shut down 15,000 dealers across the United States, although things are starting to come back online, but I think the damage has been done. Jeff has this week's racing calendar. Mr. Mars offers the 5 worst cars ever made. Perfect. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we always need more Jeff Seekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live show. If this is a podcast that you're listening to, well, thank you very much for joining in. We appreciate you tuning in to us this morning.
Yep.
Our first guest bailed out, and so we got kind of an open segment here. And I kind of like these at least one per show.
Every now and then.
Yeah, it's good. So I did want to, and since I went inside and got the story out, I thought this would be a good time to do this. A week after 2 cyber attacks forced CDK Global to shut down its software for thousands of dealerships in North America, the dealership management system company has made progress getting operations back up. CDK said June 28th it was continuing to use a phased approach to gradually and safely reboot its DMS, dealer management software system, for the more than 15,000 customers affected by the shutdown. So it's a major, major thorn for everybody that subscribes to the CDK platform. Dealer management system includes things like inventory management, sales, making contracts and getting you all set up for financing if that's what you want, parts, service, the maid that scrubs the toilets. It takes all of that into consideration, and it kind of helps dealerships do business.
Right. So when you say 15,000 customers, you're talking about 15,000 dealerships.
Yeah.
Which literally you're talking, minimum of 100 people at a dealership. So you're talking, 150,000 people impacted immediately.
But there's also breakdowns after that. You said inventory. What kind of inventory? There's inventory of the floor plan of the cars themselves. There's inventory of the parts. There's inventory of tires. All of that is part of that system. So
billing
it's not only
systems, invoicing.
The DMS is just the umbrella, and then there's subsidiaries down below that are affected.
And I can only imagine, over the 30, 40 years of development of this software system, and it offers more and more and more and more as the years go by, that dealers. Does a dealer even know how to do a manual written contract anymore?
That's what they started to do.
Where you take the big thick pad of paper that's that long.
5 copies, press hard.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing.
So imagine that, trying to buy a car. Matter of fact, when this first came out, I heard that there were some dealerships that said, look, we'll sell you a car, but you can't take it because we don't have a contract.
Yeah.
And we can't just let the car walk off the showroom floor.
They could bail them. They put them on a bailment.
Yeah, but whatever the case may be, it's a huge, huge problem. And I think that slowly but surely they're bringing dealerships. Basically, they're starting with these big groups like Auto One,
Auto Nation, Group
Auto
Ones,
Nation, all that stuff. Right.
Yep.
So there is that. That's the big story in the automotive world today. That's the big thing. Oh, it's a new story out today. Automotive news. I just thought this was really interesting. Of course, Toyota moved from their headquarters from Torrance, California to Texas, kind of like Elon has done. But they did it before Elon. Well, finally, now that they've announced, some billion-dollar expansion of the plant outside San Antonio, a hotel blending Japanese style and sophistication with Texas hospitality is slated to rise near Toyota North America's headquarters in suburban Dallas. The 217-room Miyako Hotel is designed in part to give Japanese executives visiting Toyota's campus in Plano and nearby suppliers a comfortable oasis reminiscent of home.
Yeah.
The project was announced in 2019 but delayed by COVID-19 pandemic. Construction now is underway. Expected to begin, actually it's started to take place in 2025. It's already on the blueprint drawing boards, with the 14-story hotel opening by mid-2027. Here you go, Jeff. Planned amenities include a rooftop teppanyaki bar with panoramic views of the Texas prairie, outdoor steam rooms, and a bakery serving artistic Japanese pastries. A garden will mix cherry blossom trees and Japanese maples with native North Texas plants,
Cactus.
desert, while exterior lighting will resemble paper lanterns. Rooms will have traditional Japanese teapots and tatami mats, whatever that is, while the decor will incorporate shoji screens and wallpaper with Japanese motifs.
That's home.
Book me a room
That's home,
today, would
yeah.
you? Mm-hmm. Because it's not just for the executives from Japan.
And then in the fridge in the room, you got little bottles of sake in there.
Yes.
Little sign says "Sake to me," and then you go.
There you go.
just popped into my mind.
It did.
That's all that brown water you've been drinking this week, Morris. We had a long discussion before we went on the air this morning about, what are we going to do for a hurricane with his 95-year-old mother and that sort of thing. And the thing that you left out, plans to evacuate Neederville over there. And the thing that you left out is cases of brown water.
Cases upon cases.
And I'm thinking that if you do it the right way, you can time it just right for the opening of the Miyako Hotel.
Ooh.
There you go.
Just say.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could wear one of those saris.
Who's sorry?
Is that the
Who's sorry now?
Sorry now.
fan?
Let's see. What else do we have in the news that I wanted to bring to you this morning? Sorry, I really wasn't too prepared to be able to fill 30 minutes with nothing.
Well,
we got stuff to do.
I know we've got plenty of stuff. I've got a whole stack of stuff here. I did want to do the recalls this week because I want to get them in because there's some interesting ones that popped up. Rear view camera image may not display. This is an ongoing problem across multiple brands of cars, including Stellantis, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Dodge, basically from 21 to 2023 model years, all of those being recalled.
This sounds like that's a vendor issue.
It is. It's a problem with whoever made the software or the camera itself or something.
All the manufacturers with the same product.
Ford Motor Company is recalling 500,000 F-150s in the U.S. because of an issue with the powertrain control module that could unintentionally downshift the vehicle into first gear.
Ooh.
Now, imagine this. Here you go. You're running down the highway at 75 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, it decides that it wants to downshift to first. So you go from 6th or 8th gear or 10th gear to first gear. Well, you know what that's going to do?
It's going to hurt something.
It's going to hurt something, including yourself possibly, because if it goes that far, it's going to break the transmission, and it's also going to lock up the rear wheels or all four wheels or whatever it's connected to, and you will lose control. You will do that. So that's for the F-150s. That's not good. And Ford has really had a major problem with recalls. I think that they lead the industry in the number of recalls right now.
Oh, Mercedes is close behind.
Tesla, 2 recalls of its 2024 ugly Cybertruck because of defects in the front windshield wiper and the trunk body trim. Front windshield motor may stop functioning in 11,688.2 affected vehicles, increasing the risk of a crash. They'll replace the windshield wiper motor. And then also they're recalling about the same number, about 12,000, because of a detachment risk in the trunk bed trim. Axiom Plastics is the parts supplier, according to the report, and Tesla will replace or rework the applique. Okay, an applique to me is a sticker.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It's probably something
And the
instructional. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you're working on brown water thoughts, but
It sounds
would you like me to do some more now?
No. Yeah. I
yeah.
I just got confused on the sticker blowing off. Why that was such a big deal?
Multiple camera images may not display in the Toyota Crown.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Have
new
you
model.
seen
Yeah,
one?
we looked at one of those when Kathy was looking at her Lexus. She was looking at the Camry, and the Crown was out there, and then she switched over to the Lexus. But yeah, she looked at it. It's a neat
Does it take the place of the Avalon?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's a good looking car.
F-150, here we go for 2021. OTA BCM software update may disable reverse lights. Mercedes-Benz, you mentioned them. Mm-hmm. Misrouted harness may corrode and short circuit. Short circuit.
Mm-hmm. That's for the circus animals. You put the harness on.
That's right.
That or your mother-in-law.
Mercedes-Benz AMG CLS 53, E53, GT43, and GT53, 2019 through 2023 models, and the C300 from Mercedes-Benz 2223. Wire connected to the pre-fuse box could be loose. Ooh, hate those loose wires. VW recalling 250,000 vehicles in the U.S. over concerns that the front passenger airbags may not deploy when the seat is activated. 21 to 24 Atlas and 20 to 24 Atlas Cross Sport. Toyota, let's not leave them out.
No, don't leave them out.
Recalling 145,000 new crossovers in the U.S. due to an issue with airbag deployment. Recalls cover the 2024 Lexus TX, which I was supposed to get yesterday, Thursday, and they won't deliver it to me because it's under recall. So the Lexus TX Hybrid, and Toyota Grand Highlander and Grand Highlander Hybrid being recalled. Notification letters will be sent out August the 5th.
I guess you have a special purpose for a Highlander. I'm not into the big boxiness.
The Highlander was the original Lexus RX when it was small and tiny. Well, there's nothing small and tiny available anymore.
Yeah, this is too big.
Matter of fact, speaking of that, I want you to know that I took delivery of that car that I have sitting out there right now, the Ridgeline, and the jury's still out on that.
Oh boy,
$56,000.
Wow!
And so they've grown it. As all vehicles, it never fails. Why? Why do they keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger? That's not the model that I know and I've grown to love. Oh, you're going to make it bigger. I'll have another one of those. How many people actually do that when they go to buy a car? Okay, so I had my original, whatever it was, Lexus 1999, I think, the RX that I had. And then the next model comes out. And the next model comes out. What's wrong, Mars? Why are you over here doing this?
He's touching stuff.
What did you say?
I'm not hearing it.
Why not?
I don't know. It looks like it's on. It may be me.
He always likes to do these sorts of things and have us all worried that we're not getting out on the internet. And I don't quite understand. It's bothersome.
He's checking. No, it's what he does. He checks and
All right. Well, at any rate,
dials in.
so they keep growing them and making them bigger, and of course charging more money. So the Honda Ridgeline that I have out there, which is basically it is a Accord with a truck body on it. It's kind of like the old, name one, the Ford Ranchero or the Chevy El Camino. Well, this is the new version of that.
It's a small version of like an Avalanche on the GM side, to me.
The Ridgeline?
Yeah.
The pickup truck?
Yeah, that out there, it's a smaller version of what an Avalanche would be.
I don't know about that, but I can tell you that
It's just a design.
It is a big, what they call a mid-sized truck. And in fact, somebody said to me the other day, he says, I sure did like that truck that you were driving. I guess it was the Colorado or the Maverick or something. And I said, well, that's about the only truck now that will fit inside your garage, because a half-ton pickup truck will not fit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the one that I had out there that I stood in front of?
Yeah.
And the top of the hood was at my shoulder.
Yeah.
I am 6'1". That thing is huge.
Got the big lift, big tires,
Oh my
big
God!
off-road package.
It just is like, holy cow! Why do you keep making it so big? Can't get it in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's all of them now.
I had an uncle call me this week, and he was asking me about he wants to downsize to a mid-size so that he can get something in the garage.
The mid-size is about the size of the old full-size 1500.
That's what I told him. He's driving. He's got a 2002 one-ton Ram that he drives to pull his RV. I said, you need to go get him one of these, because it's really going to be about the size of your regular cab
old
2002 truck.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to be surprised that it's not. The mid-size just really aren't that small.
But when they first came out with them, we all thought of them as our old mini trucks, the original Ford Ranger or the S10 or whatever it is. No, it's not that.
Not anymore.
No.
They've all got steroids on them.
Oh, boy.
Well, the other problem is the fact that the price of them. That Ridgeline that I just took delivery of out there, the sticker on it is $56,000.
Wow.
What?
For a unibody
Truck. And then I had the discussion. Okay, so who actually uses a truck these days for what a truck is built for? Towing and hauling.
The ordinary family, not necessarily daily basis or weekly basis. It's more for a commercial guy, because you don't see a family down the road hauling bales of hay.
I actually don't see a family in pickup trucks. It's usually some
big
one
SUV.
guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. I mean, if you're going to use the truck to haul your camper,
It's one
okay,
thing, yeah.
I get it.
Got it, yeah.
If you've got loads of mulch every week that you're delivering, pulling a great big lawn trailer or something, I get it. What are you doing?
Pointing at that.
He's watching the clock.
Yeah, I'm watching the clock.
I'm going to take that clock down.
You just put it up.
I did. I just put it up. All right. We shall take a break.
Oh, my gosh.
Because Jeff is getting nervous and anxious over here. Is your middle name Nellie?
Nellie.
Nervous Nellie. All right.
There you go.
Like good leftovers in the fridge, you can get the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider.
Make me
We're
a
like the
sandwich.
McDonald's drive-through window.
Oh, boy.
We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Our live version here on Saturday is 8 to 11 a.m. And we always invite you to join our live program. And if you're listening on a podcast from all of the umpteen thousand podcast distributors across America and beyond. What?
Umpteen thousand.
Umpteen thousand.
He was counting.
Who's counting?
Jeff's counting.
I'm counting. Count on that.
Well, yeah. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. We normally have a guest in this segment, but we didn't today because they bailed on us at the last minute, and Mars was deep into his brown water cocktails when it was time to find somebody else. There's some interesting news out of Detroit, and the fact that I'm not sure about new car shows anymore. More people have bailed on the Detroit Auto Show, even though they're moving it back to its original January or February, whenever it is,
January,
deep in the wintertime
Back in the
in
day.
Detroit. And
It kicked off the automotive season in Detroit.
Yeah.
Kicked it off for everybody.
yeah,
I used to go.
yeah. Well, we all used to go to the new car shows.
Well, specifically the one in Detroit. Yeah, Cobo Hall, all that. Yeah, growing up as a
is
kid.
Cobo Hall still there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But that thing was built back in the 40s or 50s?
Something like that. It's old.
Old, very
Yeah.
old.
But
They
it's
used to
still
play
there.
basketball in there, I
They
think.
used to do a lot of things in there.
Well, I did see a date for the Houston Auto Show, so they're still planning on it in January.
We'll see how that goes because, the manufacturers are going, we got better ways to reach our potential purchasers of our vehicles.
They think there is anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Well, at any rate. All right, well, let's do the racing calendar, shall we?
Yep.
Jeff has that, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Yeah, and what we've got, racing is a couple of events. The IMSA and the Indy guys are off until the middle of July, coming up very soon. You've got NHRA at the Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals in Norwalk. And, of course, last week we all know the crash of John Force. Put him in the hospital, and I believe he's still in the hospital. John was checking the report this morning. Severity of injuries are, for us, we're speculating, but he does have, I'm sure, a concussion and some other bodily.
I think it's more serious than
well,
that
it
because
could
they
be.
moved him from intensive care general over to the neurological intensive
Right,
care.
right. So
And he's being watched by his family. As a matter of fact, Ashley or Brittany is one of the daughters is with him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So very serious injury for John Force, and we wish them the best of luck.
Yep. And then you've got NASCAR. NASCAR's in Nashville Speedway. The race is on NBC. Mike tickets are still available if you want to go.
NBC, you mean the Nobody Cares television
yeah,
network?
that nobody cares. And then you got the Qatar Airways Austrian Grand Prix practice.
They're racing
going
in the-
on
in the
all week.
mountains?
Racing in the snow-capped mountains and all that good stuff. So, and that's being put on by the Red Bull Ring. And like I said, Indy is off, and so is IMSA. And I think that'll about cover that for just a segment.
All
There
right.
you go.
Mr. Mars has put together something special for all of us.
Something special.
Because I bet everybody has their own story about one of the 5 worst cars ever made. I don't know why you just narrowed it down to 5.
Well, because of time. I just figured
Yeah.
time because it's so subjective as to what's good, what's bad, and what's the worst and what's the best. So this is just 5 of the ones that you can put a little data behind to say that this is one of the worst vehicles. And for example, one that comes to mind real quick and easy is the Ford Pinto. It was manufactured from 1971 to
It was a very
1980.
popular car, and they sold a bajillion of them.
Mm-hmm.
They really did. They sold, in fact, the first year they sold 220,000.
Is that rust?
And
on
then
that?
they
That is-
recalled every one of them.
That's from that's that.
Well, I think they used to call them exploders. I think
Yeah,
that,
they
did. But before that, they had the gas fumes got into the cab or the passenger
Cabin.
compartment, and that was the reason they had to recall all of them. But it came in 3 models, and it blew up a lot, and it was
Only if you hit it.
true. And had a lot of recalls, and it was a big problem for Ford, so they quit manufacturing that.
There's mine.
The Vega, the Chevy
Ladies and
Vega.
gentlemen, I had 2 of them.
Did you?
Brother
I
had one.
did. I had a 72, and then I went all into a 74.
You know, I really always liked the way those look. Look like
I like them
a
too.
baby Camaro or something.
Yeah.
And they never did really come with a lot of big power or anything. It was just kind of stylish, but they had a tendency to break down a lot. They had overheating problems.
Yep.
The aluminum engine was part of the problem. It just would get too hot.
Didn't they have a Copo version of that?
They had a Cosworth version.
Cosworth, okay.
It was a little bit of a hot rod.
Yep.
They sold over 2 million of these vehicles, and most
And I
of
was
them
one of
made
the
up there.
morons that bought them, but I never had a problem with mine.
Yeah, they made great. I mean, I thought that was really cool, the ones that did the V8 conversion, and particularly the little wagon. It just looked really cool. But another one that was out there that really didn't do so well was the AMC Gremlin. Had a kind of a quirky design to it, kind of boxy. But it also had reliability issues, and it didn't really run very fast. It didn't even sell very good. It was made from 1970 to 1978. They only sold 671,000 of those vehicles total. So it just, it just didn't turn out to be very popular, although they make some pretty good hot rods right now.
Yeah, they do.
Then, the one, your favorite probably, Don, is the Corvair.
Oh, God. Not the first model.
No, not the first model. I mean, they were built from 1960 to 1969. So the first ones came out with a flat 6 at 80 horsepower. It was under $2,400 to buy this
Hold
thing.
me back.
And but
That
they
was,
did
that was to compete with the Volkswagen Beetle.
absolutely. And of course, they sold 1.8 million of them during that whole time. But really, what really hurt it was the Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed, where he went into why it would lose control, the rear engine, the swing axle. A lot of these things that, even though they fixed some of them, the car just kind of faded away. Mm-hmm. And then whenever you get down to this one, I think this one really died because it was just so ugly. The Pontiac
Oh, my
Aztek,
God.
built from 2001 to 2005. It was actually the first midsize SUV CUV that came to market. It had a V6 with a 4-speed automatic, and they marketed it as a sport recreational vehicle. And some of the advertisements had tents and had places you could put your bikes and your canoes and snowboards. It even had a 2-piece tailgate that had cup holders on it for tailgating. Part of that whole get it, the family, and get out and get busy type thing. And basically, though, it was just plain ugly. And there's some more out there, but I thought that was a good place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, please do. Shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. Back after these brief messages.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is on the air.
Yep.
Ahead, tech-focused repair solutions. Later, Jeff has this week's Motor Minute, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. IT genius David Ainsley is vacationing in the UP.
Yeah, good for him.
I'm Don
Took his boys
Armstrong.
out.
Pardon me?
Stuff. Took his boys out there. It's having a blast.
Good. You went up there last year.
I did in August. Yeah, I had a blast.
I remember you saying, I don't want to go.
I don't want to go, and I had a blast. So there you go.
It's a great vacation spot.
Mm-hmm.
Who would ever think Michigan as a vacation spot?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Great Lake State.
It's absolutely beautiful up there, especially the Upper Peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on this Saturday on our live version of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We live stream this every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. And, of course, podcasts are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to our first guest today, Kevin Fitzpatrick with Opus IV, not Opus IVW. Mr. Mars kind of threw me for a little loop there this morning, and I'm glad that we caught that, so I didn't say IVW.
I'm glad you didn't
twice.
say that either.
Or
You just
VW.
said- Yeah, you just said it twice.
Kevin, we apologize for being here.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
So, Kevin, what does Opus IV do?
Well, it's actually Opus IVS. Intelligent Vehicle Support is what the IVS stands for. So what we do is we support shops both in the mechanical and the collision space, both scanning vehicles, making sure collision vehicles are given back to their owners in the absolute post or pre-collision condition. And in the mechanical space, what we're doing is we're remotely programming vehicles, remotely diagnosing vehicles. We've got about 4,000 shops that we're connecting to on a daily basis and helping all of those technicians get through really tough diagnostic tasks every day.
So, how does it work?
So how it works is we provide the shops, speaking on the mechanical side for a second, we provide the shops basically a scan tool. It's a tablet PC. And what the technicians will do is they'll go about their diagnostics, and if they get to a point where they're not sure about what they're doing, let's say they got a Mercedes in the shop, they're not a Mercedes technician or a Volkswagen, they're not that familiar with Volkswagen. They have the ability to push a button on the device requesting support from one of our master technicians in maybe our Huntington Beach call center or remotely around the United States. And then what we do is we connect that shop, that technician, to a master level technician. That technician is then able to see exactly what's going on with that vehicle. If a module needs to be updated, we're able to connect to that module and put the latest software into it. If the module needs to be replaced, we can code it, program it, and bring it online.
Very interesting. What about body repair?
Same thing in body repair. In body repair, it's really important when a car gets into a collision, right? I mean, all of these systems, right? With what we call ADAS. When all of these systems, they have to be brought back into service. Now, when a car gets into a crash, the shops have no idea which systems are down, which systems are up. So what we do is we connect with a factory level scan tool, and we go into every single module, every single system in the vehicle, and we're basically asking that system, hey, do you have any trouble codes? are you ready for service? And so basically that's what we do. We go into every single system in the vehicle, making sure if it needs to be calibrated, we calibrate it, and we make sure that that car goes back to that customer in a pre-collision state.
I think that most people really don't understand the fact that there are sensors in certain body modules that, tells the car, hey, I've been in a wreck, or, I popped the airbags in it, that sort of thing. And,
Sure.
Especially if you have some sort of a front-end collision, there's a lot more to it than just unscrewing some bolts and taking the fender off and putting a new one back on there and painting it.
Well, that's how it used to be, right? Lots of welding, lots of paint, lots of straightening. It's not like that anymore at all. Now it's a lot of calibrations. I mean, these guys are true technicians. I mean, if you ever spent any time in a collision shop and saw what's going on, I mean, it's engineering, chemistry, and technology. That's what's going on.
So what happens when a shop, now today, many people say, okay, well, I want the original VW fender on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have an option. You could get a Chinese fender, and we can give it to you at half the price of the factory fender. Do you run into issues with that, or are those options that the repair guy has?
Now, mostly, like if you bring your vehicle to a quality collision shop, they're going to make sure that, like I said, that car is given back to that customer in a pre-collision state. They're going to make sure that the car gets quality parts put back on it. There's always going to be those shops that are looking to buy less than quality parts, put them on your vehicle, and charge accordingly. But again, it's up to the consumer and your insurance companies. Your insurance company wants to make sure that they're giving back to their customer a quality repair.
Well, that's interesting because I took a tour of the plant that built, this is several years ago, Toyota Corollas, and yes, they were building the doors and the surrounds of the doors in one stamping function that goes on to the assembly line, but they also made extra sets to go out to all the dealers. So that's the same pattern, the same stamp, if you will, for the doors for all of the Toyota Corollas. It comes out of the same machine. Whereas if you go to an aftermarket like a Chinese knockoff, chances are that it's not going to fit exactly right. And they're going to have to do more body work, the surrounds, the doors themselves, to make the thing kind of pass, if you will. And not only that, but if you use knockoff parts and you're going to go and trade your car in or sell your car outright, it actually doesn't get as much money as the original parts because you can tell.
Oh, you can absolutely tell. I can tell you as a matter of fact, a lot of, again, on the mechanical side as well, a lot of the quality parts places that you would buy parts from, Worldpac, Advanced Auto Parts, these guys have actual metallurgists on staff where they, when they purchase rotors, because they buy a lot of parts from China. I mean, this is the world we live in. But when they buy a part from China, they actually make sure that the alloys that are in that brake rotor, for instance, are exactly the same as are in the OE part. You know what I mean? And they spot check every order that they get to make sure that nobody's pulling the old switcheroo on them, to make sure that what they're buying is what they're what they're contracting for is what they're getting.
So there's DOT regulations on the rotor, much like because there's DOT regulations on tires that come over from different parts of the world. Are the same thing for DOT on certain parts?
Well, I don't even know if this DOT regulations. I mean, it's a little bit looser on the rotors. Like I said, if you look at a brake rotor, like if you go to price a brake rotor, you're going to see like a European brake rotor. It'll be priced anywhere from $19 to $300, right? So I mean, the consumer in the shop has a choice, and you know what I mean. Do you want OE level? Or do you want to save some bucks and be shaken down the road? I mean, so I mean, you have options. I'm not to be honest with you, I'm not sure how regulated it really is.
Yeah.
So what is the most sought after repair from your shops?
Where you need somebody ask you for help.
Yeah. And-
It's vehicle programming. Like I said, most of everything that we're doing is because the OE software is so costly and oftentimes difficult to handle. Most of the independent repair shops will only handle one or two of the brands. So at Opus, like I said, the main thing that we're doing is coding and programming vehicles. Where, like, again, if a module is purchased from a parts outlet, we're remoting in and programming. That's the biggest thing we're doing on a daily basis.
So I'm a small shop, and I don't want to spend the thousands of dollars every year to get the updates on the hardware. I mean, the software and this thing.
Yep.
So I can subscribe with you. I guess it's a subscription type thing.
Correct.
So that whenever that BMW comes in once a year that I need some help on, I don't want to turn the customer away because he's a good customer with his other vehicles. I can go as far as I can go, but then I can contact you and get support.
Yep.
How is there a way I can tell that shop works with you? And the reason I'm asking is, okay, I'm looking for somebody new to work on my cars. So, and I'm looking for references, and I know it's a small shop. There's only 5 or 6 techs in there. But, and I wonder about how well they keep up their software and things in this modern world that I don't keep up with. And I'm just wondering if there's a way that I can tell that, they at least try to work with you.
Well, you would ask them. All you would ask the customer or ask the shop is, you know what I mean? You want to ask them that they're using factory software to program the vehicle. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily have to be Opus. I don't want to overpump Opus. They're either going to use factory software on their own, or if they're going to remote it, it's most likely going to be our company that's doing it.
Okay. So that would be the question. Are you using factory software? And if they are, they're either getting it from the factory or you or somebody like you.
Well, I think what you're saying is, when you walk into a shop, you want to be, you want to look at something and say, this is who we have behind us. Opus is backing that shop.
You want the window sticker on the front door.
Yeah, this is here I am.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of the window sticker stuff, and I'll tell you this: like the OEs, they've gotten much better over the years. Like I said, it used to be this kind of butting head things with the aftermarket, and in many cases, the OEs are partnering with us. You know what I mean? Realizing they can't fix all of the cars that are out there, and like I said, they've come around quite a bit, and they've given us a lot more access to what we need in order to properly fix the vehicles that they're turning out.
How do you price your service? Is it by contacting you and then you helping them with this certain car that they're calling you about, or is it just a general monthly fee? How do you do that?
Our programming is basically by the vehicle. So on a European vehicle, we charge $199 to program a module. On an Asian and domestic vehicle, it's $159 to program a module, and that's just simply because of the time it takes. European vehicles have a lot more data that we're pushing into the vehicle and the time it takes. That's why there's a little bit of a price variance. But no, we try to keep it really easy for the shops, and we leave them plenty of room so that they can mark it up and make a few shillings for themselves.
But there's also the consideration that if I'm running the shop and I've got a tech and he's got a problem, he can either reach out to you and get you to do the module update, or he can spend hours trying to go on Google and figure out and trying to find something that he can do, and that's costing me money.
And that's exactly it. We've always we were one of the first. We built a really great tech support team, and the most important thing is having a friend in this industry. It's something we really kind of built our business on. These cars are so technical today. I mean, we were I think the first in the country to launch an aftermarket Tesla support group. Because they're so technical. I mean, they're rolling computers, they're rolling networks, and to have a technician. I mean, you used to listen to the vehicle, right, and tell if the vehicle was running lean, right? You don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? When you plug into these vehicles, they're going to give you 15 different trouble codes. They light up like a Christmas tree when there's something wrong. and it takes a bit of a technical edge, to fix them. So you need a specialist per brand, and that's what Opus offers. We give them that level of expertise, and we want to make sure that whatever rolls into any shop in the country, you know what I mean, that shop can connect to the person and the technology that they need to fix the vehicle. Because when you talk about technician shortages, right, we don't want to see shops going out of business, and you can't possibly put the number of technicians you would need to fix every make and model into your service base. You couldn't do it. So you have to leverage technology.
Do you supply the education for your software to these technicians?
We do, and we go a little bit deeper than that. We do webinar training on the actual vehicles and the brands. We're doing on the 13th of July, for instance, we're doing a training event in our Huntington Beach location. We're going to be doing another one in Florida, another one in New York coming up, where we invite all of our customers in, and we take the support technicians, the master technicians that they have access to, when they're diagnosing a vehicle.
Right. Uh-huh.
We actually stand those technicians up in front of the customers and say, hey, why don't you come in on Saturday? We're going to do an 8-hour class. We're going to do, to pick a subject, variable valve timing. And we kind of educate the customers, so we try to give them everything that they need, the tooling, the technology, the education. We try to give them everything that they need to be successful.
It's a complete package is what you offer.
We're trying. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got it. Well, listen, it's great to talk to you, and sorry about screwing up your name.
No worries.
Yeah. Opus.
IVS, Intelligent Vehicle Support.
There you go.
VS.
See,
Mars?
I wrote it down already. I already wrote it down.
He wrote it down. Kevin, it's great to talk to you, my friend. You take care, and thanks so much again for joining us today.
Appreciate it as always, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
These cars are getting complicated.
Yeah.
Well, get it. They
service.
are.
My youngest bought a new car, brand new off the dealership. 7 weeks. It goes nuts on her. I mean, lights flashing, wipers, all kinds of stuff. She takes it back to the dealer. Actually, it gets towed back to the dealer. Took them 4 days to go through it, and one of the computers was impacting 5 other computers, and they had to work their way through the computers to get down to that subcomputer to find it, to figure out what was wrong with it. And then the part was on back order.
It sounds like the In-Wheel Time show.
Wow.
Technically speaking.
And we're on back order.
That's it. We're on back order.
This is actually a show from like 2 weeks ago. So
yeah. And this is actually not a car show. We specialize in brown water.
And food.
From Neaterville.
Recipe places.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. You and your friends can get this award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts, yes, they're available from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk show continues after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call, and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address, info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Have you ever wondered what it takes to drive a school
Never.
bus? Or maybe an ambulance?
Yes.
Or a fire truck?
Ambulance, yeah.
Well, today we're going to learn how to drive a hearse. So what you need for a hearse...
Don't go fast around the corners and
you
don't
should
accelerate.
have
too
a
much.
high school diploma or a GED as far as a regular driver's license. After getting a regular driver's license, you can start out as a chauffeur or a taxi driver instead of jumping right into being a hearse driver, Mike. So in many states, there are requirements to obtaining a license it's called a for-hire endorsement for that license. You need to gain knowledge of funeral services to enhance your career and prospects. So from there, the skills you need more than excellent driving skills, Don.
You need to be alive.
You must be empathetic. You must have compassion. You must be able to relate to the relatives of the deceased. Emotional resilience is essential as well, because you need to quickly adapt to stressful situations and focus on the driving and observing motor vehicle laws. Hearse drivers should relate well with people from diverse cultures, backgrounds, dead or alive. So you need excellent communication and interpersonal skills.
Why did you look at me that way? Why did you look
You
at
just
me?
can't go to a funeral home and get a job. So the places that you can find a job as a driver of a hearse are hospitals. Some companies have companies that do commercial funeral transportation services. Now, Mike had a question for me before the show about going across state lines. There's some regulations for that. I didn't get into it, but you don't need much to be a
Not
hearse
even
driver.
that, but like the funeral I went to last night, this morning they're having the service up in Lufkin from Port Neches, so it's a 2.5 hour drive.
Right.
So somebody has got to transport that body up there to there and have it there for the burial site by the time the family gets there. And I would assume it would be the funeral home, but like what you're saying, they
There's
may
companies that
contract
do
it
that.
out.
Yeah, contract out.
I have to tell you that
hearse.
from my experience, you realize that there are all sorts of different kinds of body wagons, most of which you don't even know it's a body
Well,
wagon.
there's vans, there's SUVs, there are traditional hearse-looking vehicles, wagon-type station wagons. So, yeah, I don't need much.
Well, I guess so. I mean, like if you were, like, say, they're taking his mother up there to Lufkin, I don't know what kind of vehicle it's in. It could have been in a van.
Mm-hmm. Could have been.
A nondescript, non-labeled van.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I will tell you that years ago, I did a series of instructional videos for a very large funeral company. Has many funeral homes, and I gained quite a bit of knowledge, most of which I think I've forgotten by now. But I will tell you that most, if not all, of the hearse drivers are very well schooled in all of the things involved in a funeral, not just driving the hearse.
Right.
You have to be involved and know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and that sort of thing.
You can go to take a college course on that because they do
Sure,
offer
like
that.
a training thing, yeah.
Absolutely. So
It's a very interesting industry.
the kicker on this is it doesn't pay very well. It's like under $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's not very much, but you don't do very much. I mean, you crank the radio up. Is that too loud for you back there? I mean, what do you do?
Hey, that subwoofer back there, boom, 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 boom.
There you go.
If it's rattling the license plate, it's probably rattling your cargo.
Yeah, the handle's on the casket.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at some of the stories making news this morning. We kind of touched on this earlier. Hacking group called Black Suit is behind the cyber attack on CDK Global that's paralyzed car sales across North America. According to Alan Liska, a threat analyst at the security firm Recorded Future, Inc. The story from Automotive News. The cybercrime group has demanded an extortion fee in the tens of millions of dollars from Hoffman Estates-based CDK, which plans to make the payment, according to Bloomberg. A black suit appears to be a group of Russian and Eastern European hackers with a history of working with a group known as Royal Ransomware, according to John Clay, a threat intelligence researcher at the cybersecurity firm Trend Micro. It functions as a ransomware as a service gang in which members lease their technical tools to affiliates and demand a cut of any extortion payments. Really? So they basically have an agent to extort people.
Kind of like lawyers. They get a cut if you get any money.
I'm sure that we have lawyers listening to the program right now, so it's kind of a blanket indictment there, isn't it, Mr. Mars?
No, I just meant the way they kind of do the commission thing.
Yeah, sure, that's what you meant. Royal Ransomware targeted at least 350 victims and demanded more than $275 million in ransom fees in 2022 and 2023, according to the FBI and CISA, a unit of the Department of Homeland Security. So it is a big, ugly, ugly mess. Tony Gullo, founder and owner of Gullo Auto Group in Conroe, died June 16th in Tomball. He was 90. Born in Houston to Italian immigrant parents, Dominic and Jeannie Gullo. He was the youngest of 7. He graduated from St. Thomas High School here in Houston in 1953. Through an introduction by his colleague Don McGill, Tony met Fred Haas, who became his longtime business partner. They founded Gullo Haas Toyota together in 1970. Since its inception in 1983, Gullo also was chairman of the Houston Auto Show. So our condolences. He was a great guy. I got a chance to meet him, the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. Always had a smile, and he almost as if he knew me. Don, how are you? Gosh, it's good to meet you. He didn't know me from Adam, but he felt like that. Anyway, it was a great guy, and it's a sad day. And he had a great car collection, too, from what I understand, although I never visited it. Did you ever go up there, Mars?
No, I've heard a lot about it, though.
Mars is in another world right now.
He doesn't have the headset.
Yeah, okay. But at any rate, great guy. I think I'm going to save this story for later. I really didn't have my act together this morning. This is a story that I want to read, and you can't interrupt me here because we're kind of short on time. Former employee of a Vermont Nissan dealership pleaded guilty to committing mail fraud on June 18th, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, again from Automotive News. Robert McLean, who served as service and parts director at Formula Nissan, was employed at the dealership from March of 19 to September of 22. He also was once the dealership parts manager. In his roles, McLean would order parts from Nissan North America using the dealership management program. Starting in January of 2021, authorities said McLean began to order vehicle suspension lift kits, which cost from $2,300 to $2,900 that were not needed at the dealership. He would order them without using the management software, so they would not show up in the dealership parts inventory. Nissan would bill the dealership, which would pay. Authorities said McLean sold more than 200 kits on Facebook, accepting payment on his personal PayPal account. He shipped the kits out using the dealership's FedEx account. Formula Nissan and its insurance company suffered an out-of-pocket loss of $575,000, according to authorities. McLean now faces up to 20 years in prison and a fine of up to twice the loss caused by his fraud. His sentencing is scheduled for October 31st, Halloween. Boo!
Wow.
How many did he sell?
200. 200 kits, lift kits.
At $1,500 a pop.
Well,
Got to figure he's selling a little bit of a discount so he can sell them.
Yeah, because it's not his
it was
money.
it was all nothing but profit for him.
Like 300,000.
Yeah.
Mike's
There's
on
that.
Facebook right now looking for a lift kit.
Apparently.
Well,
he is.
I want to see if mine's shipped or not.
Quick back order.
Quick break now. We'll be right back. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
You've got the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, our local track roundy round expert, Rodney Rodriguez from Dirty Air. You'll hear my thoughts on driving the new 2025 Mazda CVCX70. I got CC. I got CC here.
No, it's an IWS Opus.
You were using my computer type that, didn't you?
I copied and pasted your thing on here. That's what it is.
That's your second mistake. In your new computer.
See, we're married in many ways, Mars and I. And Mars has this week's events calendar. It's just ahead on the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. Man, I'm telling you, it's just been a bevy of mistakes.
But not through your new computer. That's your new computer.
No, it's not. That's my old computer.
Oh,
because I finally fired up my new computer. I did something, and how I did it, I still don't know. But it copied everything off of this computer and put it on my new computer, which I did not want to do.
No.
Now I've got to go back and somehow undo what I did.
Good luck on that.
You done did it.
Welcome to my world.
Wow.
Anyway.
Something in the air.
Yeah. Dirty air.
That's what we got coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
How's that a segue?
Rodney Rodriguez. Where are you at a track somewhere at night?
He's in jail.
No, I'm actually at home. These are TVs behind me. I'm at home.
Are you?
At home. Yeah.
It's a rare weekend at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend at home.
Is it? Do you have any brown water there?
Yes.
Yes.
We do.
That's
Plenty
good.
of it.
How have you been, my friend?
Been good, man. Just trying to beat the heat. I'll tell you, this is this heat is something else, and we're only getting started. You know, and these race teams and stuff that are sitting out at racetracks all the time. I often wonder. It's like, why do you guys want to be at the racetrack all day long? I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, you start feature races at 8 in the evening, and it's 95 degrees. It's like, man, what are we doing here? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, and they got to be there early.
Well, they are there early.
Yeah, they're all day.
All day. They're there all day, and it typically. And I've always wondered how in the world they do what they do, because on race day, Saturdays typically with short track local stuff, that day starts early in the morning and doesn't end until they get home, put their head on the pillow, usually after midnight.
Yeah, and there's a lot of downtime in there too. That's the bad thing. It would be one thing if you could go, practice or whatever you need to do, and then you had like a lounge or something you could go to and then come back in 4 hours. But it's not the case. And I'll tell you what's been interesting to watch here lately, guys, is with these dirt tracks, obviously trying to keep moisture in these tracks is something that's an ongoing track prep is really fun to watch these days, because as soon as that water hits, it's gone. So It's a lot.
It's always
Guys-
good to have yourself a little tank, if you will, in the ground, catching rainwater when you can, and go and suck it out of there and put it in the truck.
Well, I'll tell you, if the water trucks these days, I mean, that's the MVP at the dirt tracks. I was actually at a dirt track, I think it was probably about 3 weeks ago, and they kept having the water, and they did one more pass with the water truck right before the races were about to start, and they overwatered it, and the water truck got stuck. So that was another hour ordeal. So it's like you can't win for losing on some of these deals sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you're a race car driver yourself. What kind of cars did you typically drive?
I was for most of my career, I was in stock cars, what you would call a street stock or a super stock or something like that. Lots of Novas and Camaros were destroyed by yours truly right here. So and right towards the back end of, I never say the R word because I will gladly jump. Although I have been offered a couple of opportunities this summer and I've turned them down. I have to work. It's the heat. Why I don't want to do it. But right towards the back end of when I was competing full time, I got in a dwarf car, and that was the little motorcycle engine, 1,000-pound chassis, and that was the most fun I ever had in one of those cars.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. I would love to try to do that, but I think I'd prefer to do it in dirt as opposed to asphalt.
No, I thought the same thing because when at Central Texas Speedway in Kyle, we'd have about 25 cars on the track, and we were inches apart, and we're just so fast. I mean, they're so fast. And I thought the same thing, because on dirt you're going to slow down a little bit. Well, I mean, you're going still really quick, but man, you want to talk about your body getting beat around. The first time I took one of those to a dirt track, I went out and raced. We did okay. About 3 days later, I get out of the shower and I look in the mirror, and after I look in the mirror and I think, what a beautiful man. I look and I'm literally.
So you often shower with other people, or?
You're all bruised up.
I'm all bruised up, and I'm like, what the hell happened here? And I asked my wife, I said, did you take a club to me last night or something? But it was that where you get beat around. But that was a lot of fun.
Well, those I've never seen those on a dirt track, but I certainly have seen them on a 3/8 mile asphalt oval. And I'll tell you what, those things are scary fast looking from the grandstands, much less I can't even imagine what it would be like behind the wheel. Of course, all things in perspective, it's like going down the freeway at 75, 80 miles an hour. You really don't think about that aspect of it. Yeah. But I can only imagine how much fun that would be.
It is. And actually, it's funny that you brought that up about what I drove, because on July 6th, that'll be the next event out at Houston Motorsports Park. The dwarf cars are coming back.
Yeah.
So it'll be the return of the dwarf cars, and I think we're expecting at least 15 of them out of the Dwarf Car Racing Series of Texas. So that'll be a lot of fun for the Independence Day. I don't know what the event's called, but it's on July 6th.
Do I have?
Are you going to be running?
Are you going to run those cars? Are you going to do the announcing, the play-by-play from behind the wheel?
I honestly thought about it, but that day I can't, because we have a couple of folks that are going to be out of pocket that day for the holiday, so I'm going to have to fill in some other aspects. So I need to be on the business side that day, so I'm going to skip.
Can you get me a couple passes, Rodney, if I want to come out there?
You guys should come out. Honestly, I'll take care of that for y'all, because it really is a good thing that's going on out there. We've got it's a good family atmosphere. There's lots of fun things. It's always been like that, but now it's been ramped up. And kind of the goal of what this group is doing out there, led by Owen Pittman from South Texas, is to run it very much like a dirt track, where it's seamless, where it's like race on, race off, race on, race off. It's not he's trying to compress everything into about a 3.5 hour window, to where you're done by 10 o'clock and you get out of there and you're not having to sit around there all night.
Right. Well, how's the attendance spectator attendance?
It seems like it's getting better. And I'll tell you what has really just blown this thing up is that we had a crazy idea a while back to do spectator racing. So what we actually do now is you can sign up, you bring your whatever it is.
You're teasing me now.
We had when did we do that? Last week. We were racing last week. We had 18 spectators that showed up and brought their stuff out, and it's everything from brand. The winner last race was a 2022 BMW SUV or something like that. Beat a 2024 Ford Explorer. All souped up, and there was 65 Mustang Coupe, 2002 Camaros, and it's everything. There was a guy out there, I swear he had his work truck out there. It was a GMC F250. That dude got out there, and I nickname every car, so that was the worker's truck. There was a guy out there that I guess he worked for Milwaukee Tool, and he was like in the Milwaukee car. I'm like,
did the boss know he was out there in the
company car?
So that seriously steals the night. That steals the night right there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
And all I could think of is, Dad's 69 Biscayne, white with a red interior, 4-door, 6-cylinder out there.
I tell you, and there have been, because we've done that 2 nights, guys, and I think there have been 3 different occasions where there's a vehicle out there doing this stuff with like paper plates. So it's like, man, I'm like, this guy's on a test drive.
Yeah,
I've got an idea, and I think it's a good one. It'll involve Mars bringing the in-wheel time truck. With the cap on the back of the trunk, the bed. Yeah, and it's got in-wheel time all over it. What do you think?
I think you should.
It's got a Hemi in it.
You got a Hemi in it.
That thing got a Hemi?
Thank God.
You need to do it.
We might have to
to
put some different tires on it.
No. You go out there, you put it in drive, and you hit the go pedal on it, and you just go.
I think he's worried about tearing the tires up. You won't have tires to go back on.
Guess what? They're already tore up, so you don't have to worry about that. But I'm serious.
I just don't know how them knobbies would play going around the curve.
Mars, what are you doing next weekend?
Next weekend,
going racing.
Going to Houston Motorsports Park.
I absolutely love it. Okay, well, let's get back to talking about racing, and let's talk about circle tracks. Every year I see more and more tracks closing, and that is very disheartening for me, being a circle track kind of guy. I love circle track racing, as you know.
Yep.
So, do you still have the same group of circle tracks from last year that you do this year?
Yeah, everything around here seems to be, I guess, stable. I mean, you never know. That's the weird thing about it. Not that I'm forecasting a racetrack would close around here or anything, but what I see around the country is the new trend really is, I think, where promoters are just throwing up their hands just for various reasons. I mean, the topic that comes up quite a bit is streaming, and that one hits to heart for me quite a bit because I'm a streamer. I stream stuff all the time, and kind of the consensus about is streaming helping short track racing or hurting it. I sat here last night and I was watching racing from Pensacola. I was watching racing from California, and I mean in those instances I think it's not, because I'm not going to go to Pensacola last night or anything like that. But what we're really seeing is that promoters are like, look, the cost is just too much. Social media is driving people away. Social media is not helping the racetracks in the sense that fans and drivers will just get on these things and just start hammering them. And, they're losing revenue and they're losing motivation. And I think that's the hardest thing. I mean, obviously you got to find the finances to pay purses to do all of that. But I think just the motivation and the want to for some of these folks is kind of wearing out, because it's such a changing environment that is just so negative, unfortunately.
I guess because if I was a driver and I came out to
you
the
are
track,
a driver, and you're going to be a new race car driver.
And
Saturday,
there may be 10,000 people watching on the stream, but if there's only 10 guys sitting up in the stands, that I can see where that would be kind of disheartening.
It is. I mean, it really is. That's a great point, Mike, because, and the thing about it is, I mean, a lot of the streamers, and again, full disclosure, I work for several of them, but the the streamers will say, yeah, but all the revenue that we're getting, we're putting that back we're putting it into the racetrack. But I guarantee you that it's not anything that's going to. I mean, yes, every dollar helps. There is no doubt about that. I'm not discounting that. But you think about every empty seat that you have there, or every spectator bleacher that is empty. That's a lot of return on investment that you're not getting, and it's very difficult.
Well, but like you say, though, even if the money was there, if there was enough money coming from that streaming source, like a TV contract or something like that, oh, yeah, we're going to pay you $1 million. But if the stands are empty, then your drivers are just going to, okay, I don't know. I would think it would be very disheartening to go out there.
It goes for all forms of racing. I mean, you see it at
True.
NASCAR races where they've closed off the entire backstretch. You can't even buy a ticket back there. They've covered them all up. And same thing with drag racing. I was looking at some old drag racing video for Diamond P Sports back in the 80s. I'm sure you remember that. The grandstands were jam-packed with people.
Yeah.
No empty seat in the house. Now, on Sunday, they may say that they're sold out, and they may have sold all the tickets, but I don't see a full house there.
People aren't there.
I don't ever see it. And same thing, obviously, NASCAR and every other form of motorsports. I mean, let's face it, the entertainment dollar is stretched thin to begin with, mainly because of the economy, but also there's so many things to do, a lot of it online. What do you want to watch? It's online somewhere.
Right. Yeah, sit at home. I can watch 3 different races at home by flipping channels. Or changing the stream, or I can go and watch one race and watch the water truck get stuck and spend an hour watching him get unstuck.
That's really the whole thing, and like on the NASCAR part and some of those larger series, you get that to where it's not like it was in the 90s and the early 2000s, and it never will be again. I mean, because exactly what you guys are saying, there are lots of other things to do, and there are, attention spans are not what they used to be for folks. They don't want to sit there for 6 hours baking in the grandstands. I mean, I do it, but that's where we get back to on the short track side, to where a lot of the veteran race fans will say, well, I'll go anytime. Well, yeah, there's about 10 of us that'll do that. If you get 100 people together, 10 of us will do it. The other 90 are going to go find something else to do.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of instant gratification. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Absolutely.
Not the same as going out there or going to a live concert or hearing live music. It's just not the same.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, that's why, I tell people very often where I'm like, look, go one time, and I guarantee you that you may not go all the time, but you're going to want to come back frequently. But you look at they're showing highlights of the Formula One sprint race from this morning. Formula One is the one entity, it seems like, that they don't have an attendance problem. But look at that. That's not a race event. That's a bunch of other crap. And there happens to be a race that one dude's going to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at my new high heels kind of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look how short her skirt is.
It's a social event.
So, Rodney, tell me about the Houston race next weekend. You're going to call that from the press box?
Yeah. So that's really going to be a big. It's going to be a big event. We've got a 50-lap modified race that is set for the open wheel modifieds. We're expecting about 16 of those, and it's going to be some of the big heavy hitters from around the area. So I think that's going to be a tremendous race. Our stock car division is starting to take off again. The steel-bodied, like what I was talking about. That, of course, we're going to have spectator racing. Our legend class is really blown up as well. The legacy division is pulling about 18 cars a night. So it's fireworks. There'll be fireworks as well. An added bonus that is out there this year is right in the middle of the racetrack. We have a huge video screen. So we do lots of cool. Yeah, we do lots of cool things there, and you can see the race. I mean, not like you couldn't see it anyway, but it's right there in high definition. So it's $1 beer, $1 hot dogs.
No, I'm in. I've got it on. I've got it on the calendar, and
Mike, let me know how many. If you guys want to come out, seriously, let me know who's coming out, and I'll get that over to our folks and make sure you guys can just roll right up in there.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Mars, bring the in-wheel time truck.
So what's the purse if Mike wins?
Okay, I tell you
Can't
what.
do it next weekend.
Okay, then leave the truck here. and I will be your representative at the racetrack, Rodney. Now,
no.
and I'm not signing any kind of
Don't
agreement
do it.
that says that I won't race the truck.
Just bring a helmet.
That would be the
Just need
point.
one
Oh, you got a helmet.
I've got the helmet.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
the
yeah.
helmet.
Honestly, guys, even if you aren't, all kidding aside, even if you're not going to race it, bring the truck anyway and park it there. I mean, get some exposure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bring it out.
Ronnie,
I think,
it's always fun talking to you. You should join us one weekend. Like for instance, and I know that you can't do the whole show. Well, maybe you could.
In studio.
Come down here next week. You spend the night on Friday night for a Saturday night's race, or you drive in on Saturday?
it's usually just Saturday. It kind of depends what's going on Friday. Right now, with some work stuff, I seem to have a lot of time. So, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we're very familiar with
we
that.
should find a remote someplace up in that Austin area, and he could come out and join us there.
What you should have done is you should have joined us for the Hot Rod Tour of Texas.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
Isn't there a big one coming up in Victoria, or did I miss that?
That's the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the one.
Okay. Oh man.
I know.
Okay.
You could have brought a Legends car or something
Yeah.
and run that.
Yeah. Well, I'd have been there with Legends. You guys. So,
Rodney, it's great to
Good
talk to you,
answer.
my friend. You take care of yourself, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend.
absolutely. You guys take care. Be well.
Thank
bet.
you. You too. Rodney Rodriguez, Dirty Air is the name of the show. Hey,
Very
like
cool,
getting
fun.
AM radio from Mexico, you can pick up the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV. But we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
I, honest to gosh, really didn't mean to hit that button, but I just did it because I wanted you to be familiar with our theme song, our opening theme song.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Will you forgive me?
I don't know what you're talking about because I had to go get water.
Can you hear the music in your ears?
I do.
Did you look at the clock and see what time it is?
Yeah,
It
how
wasn't
about that?
time to play that,
Oh.
but I played it anyway. Just to make you
You just
make.
did it so you can make an interest when you come back with the water.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you very much for the water. All right, time now for Mr. Mars' events calendar.
Oh, I got to plug that in, Michael.
Well, that's all right. I was checking with our next guest, and
So you weren't ready either.
No, none of us
Oh,
are ready.
good. Okay, busted.
but I had a good excuse. All right, for the events here, our Mr. Ainsley is up in the UP, and he is actually attending the 48th annual St. Ignace. Is that how you say it?
St. Ignace.
A St. Ignace car show. Now, this is a big car show he keeps talking about. He says there's over 800 cars up there in the neighborhood. We couldn't get him up there and get there early enough to actually
The big
call
car
in.
show with small town charm.
Yeah. 800
Where is
cars.
that
Pretty
place?
cool.
It's in St. Ignace.
Yeah.
What is that?
Actually
Is
a
that by
place.
the Mackinac Bridge?
Yeah, it's up in the UP.
Yeah. Go to STIGNACE.com for more information.
Oh my
I don't know how you
God.
say
Oh my
that. But
God.
anyway,
Never mind. He's from Neederville. He's got an excuse.
coming up this Thursday, July the 4th, the Freedom Celebration and Car Show in Spring, Texas. Now, there's going to be a day of fun things going on, entertainment. There's going to be a car show. There's going to be fireworks, a lot of things going on. 25130 Aldine Westfield
Who is
Road.
the distinguished guest speaker, Dave Rover?
He is a veteran that is going to be speaking for the 4th of July.
Okay, thank you.
This is sponsored by the North Central Church. Good family event if you're looking for something to do on the 4th of July. Then on July the 13th, Doghouse Bear Garden has got their second annual Christmas in July car show. This is a Santa's going to be there, bring an unwrapped toy for ages
In this
1 to 15.
heat? Oh my God!
You're going to see Santa melt down.
He's slimmed down. It's summertime.
Cars are going to register at $25 entry, 2115 Spring Stubner Road. All proceeds go to the Marine Toys for Tots. Then coming up in August, we're going to get really warm. August the 10th and 11th, the Texas Elite Auto Showcase. This is going to be the first year for this event out at NRG Park. Custom cars, trucks, and exotic cars. Go to TexasEliteAutoShowcase.com for more information. Then in September, the 21st, 11th annual Big Boys Toys Corvette Club Corvette Show. Entry fee is $35. And this is going to be at the Twin Peaks. Now, this was originally scheduled to be at the Rio Cajun restaurant that told all their employees by text last Monday that they were closed and not to bother to come to work.
Oh, boy.
And so they moved it to the Twin Peaks at 3805 Interstate 10 in Beaumont. All right, coming up then on September the 28th is Woody's 6th annual Waterfront Rod and Custom Car Show down at the Topwater Grill in San Leon. Is that right? San Leon.
San Leon.
Tell me again.
How do you spell Leon?
Leon.
Uh-huh.
San Leon.
And guess what? That's where it is. Not San Leon.
San Leon.
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 I worked with a guy by the name of Leon over at Richardson Chevrolet back in the day. Great big tall guy. Leon.
So we're talking
Tune in next week when we spell cat.
pre-2004 vehicles, best truck, best rat rod imports, best paint, things like that. $30 entry fee, day of the event. Go to Facebook at Woody's Waterfront Rod and Custom Show. Then on October the 19th, back to the Past Car Show, annual open classic car, truck, and motorcycle show benefiting the Spring Branch Senior High School Foundation, 9016 Westview Drive in Houston, and we will be there.
How long have we been doing this show?
13 years.
13 years.
13 years. And, you know, in all of the shows that we have done in 13 years, I have tried and attempted to have these boys look at the clock once in a while. Well, Mr. Mars just went with a 4.5-minute events calendar that's supposed to be 60 seconds and has ruined my opportunity.
I think so.
My opportunity to do a car review. So for those that were staying tuned for the car review, you've all left, but for everybody else,
They went to their car.
they went to their car to get a hot dog. Thank you, Mr. Mars. I guess we'll do this on the other side of the break.
Sure. He's not listening.
I'm not. I'm ignoring you.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@nwheeltime.com. We'll be back after this.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's and other location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
This is the world's favorite place to go for fun and informative car talk and no nudity. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Rachel Perez joins us. She's going to talk about 93% of us drivers complain about each other. No kidding.
I was surprised it was only 93%.
I thought it would be 100%. Did you see what he did? We're going to get to the bottom of the bad juju. We'll have This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin, our chief engineer, vacationing David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live program. If you're listening on a podcast, we thank you for doing that as well. Now let's get over to Rachel Perez. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning.
It's so good to have you with us this morning. I hope we didn't get you out of bed too early.
Thank you so much for having me. No, I'm wide awake and ready to talk about complaining about driving.
You know, all I need is you in the passenger seat next to me as we go down the road. I'll feel right at home. And you will too, because I'll tell you what, I can complain like nobody other.
We can attest to that.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't have to do with driving either.
Well, sometimes it does not, but I will tell you that there usually if I'm complaining, there's a 4-letter word in that complaint somewhere that I'm not going to use on you this morning. So 93%. How come it's not 100? Did you just miss the other 7%?
Potentially, some people maybe didn't want to report how much they actually complain, especially that 35% of Americans said that they only complain one time a day. So who knows?
What?
Yeah. For sure. In some states, it was as high as 96%, so in places like Tennessee. But states like New Jersey and Iowa, it kind of wavered around the 93%. And it's the number 2 thing Americans are complaining about, right behind gas prices. So.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. And how many are in the survey? How many people did you survey?
We surveyed 2,000 people at Preply.
2,000 people. So a cross-section of America, all 50 states?
Yes.
Very nice. And how long did the survey take? About 10 minutes to dial everybody up and say, what do you think about everybody else's driving? You suck.
Yes, it was actually one of our faster studies to complete. We just asked them a series of questions about things that they would complain about, the quality of things, cost, their spouses. And then we were able to assign percentages to that. And then from that, we created a scoring rank of what Americans are complaining about the most and also what they wish they could stop complaining about, but they won't be complaining about. And
complaining about taking surveys.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they complain about their spouse that was sitting in the next seat?
A pretty significant percentage of Americans complain about their spouse. It's about 50%. So.
Is this survey, are these things available online that we could go and see?
Yes.
Or take?
So at Preply.com. You can see our survey on the states that complain the most.
And what's the .com?
Preply.com. It's spelled PREPLY.com.
.com. Okay, because I'm gonna print this out. I'm gonna make lots of copies and pass it out. And matter of fact, when that idiot in the grocery store parking lot really does a number on me, then I can take that and put that under the windshield and have them read that. This is you, Buster. Okay, so what? There's got to be more than just complaining about the driver. Did they complain about anything in particular about the driver or what the driver did?
No, nothing in particular about what drivers are doing. One thing that they did complain about, which kind of coincides with that, it's actually the number 5 thing Americans complain about the most, is traffic. So 87% of Americans are complaining about how bad traffic is. So that could potentially have to do with, some of the drivers in their region. But yeah.
So, I was funny you should bring this up because my thoughts went to a comment that I made to somebody just yesterday, as a matter of fact. It never fails that when you're stuck in really bad traffic and there is an alternate route, the alternate route also has road construction that is contributed to the backup of traffic that you're trying to get out of.
On the main
it's like,
drag, yeah.
The left hand doesn't talk to the right hand. Oh,
Right.
We're having construction on this freeway on this particular weekend, but there's really no other alternative because if you go the other way, that would be the alternative. There's more construction down there.
Yeah, there's construction on the detour.
Yeah. So it's like, did you not talk to the other people on this? We're having construction here. Don't do it here on this weekend. Schedule it somewhere else.
And that definitely plays a part. I mean, in states like New Mexico, 98% of residents report complaining about traffic. So I'm sure that those states also see a lot of those kind of construction
Delays.
miscommunications. Yeah.
So is there a list of 1 through 10?
Yes, there is a list of 1 through 10.
Well,
Let me go
why don't we go through the list of 1 through 10? Start with
Yes.
10.
Okay, so let me go ahead and pull that up for you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to catch you off guard.
Oh, no worries. Thank you so much for asking about the states that complain the most. Okay, so
He just wants to see where he fits.
I want to see where I fit on the list. Am I 10? Am I 5? Am I 1?
Somewhere his name is on that list.
Did you
Okay,
find it?
yes, I did. So I'm ready to go.
Okay, go.
The top 10 topics Americans are complaining about the most in 2024. The number 10 is other people complaining. So people write about other people write.
I knew that I would make the top 10 list, and there I am at number 10.
Number 9 is the weather.
The weather, okay, yep.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Number 8 is work. Number 7 is physical health. So a lot of people complain about their back aches, their stomach aches, their arthritis. Number 6 is a lack of income. Number 5 is traffic. Number 4 is politics. Number 3 is the actual quality of our goods and services. A lot of people are very upset with the quality of goods and services nowadays.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Exactly. Number 2 is how people drive. And number 1 is the cost of things.
Yeah, very interesting. Now, when was this survey conducted?
This survey was conducted earlier this year, in roughly around March.
March. So it's
pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I while you were going through that list and talking about complaining, I thought, now here's something for your to-do list today. And that is try to get through the day without complaining about anything. Can you do that, Rachel?
Can I do that? Oof. I would have to think about it. Honestly, it would definitely take some conscious thought.
Are
Yeah.
you
It
married?
would.
Are you married?
I'm not, no.
She's not married. I was going to
That
say
saves a lot, right?
that zips off a bunch of those right there. And then I was going to follow that up with, well, do you have children? But obviously those are all off the board because, as your children get older, you start complaining about things that they're doing or not doing, and that would be under the complaint list. Try not to complain about anything. Okay, so I'm going to let it be known to the entire world, today is the day I am going to do my best, make a conscious effort not to complain.
Today?
Today.
And
Well,
it
you
was-
done blew that.
Yeah.
Well, no,
5 minutes
starting
into the-
now.
Starting now. Okay.
I got here at 10 to 7, and he was complaining he was hungover.
Man, last night was bad, Rachel. Do you have that on the survey, being hungover?
No.
Well,
we
Rachel,
actually-
I have
Didn't
to
make
admit,
the list.
now that you've brought that up, I have to tell you that I had one too many margaritas last night, which was not good. But I'm feeling much better now. Thank you for asking.
So at 9:38 Saturday
9:38.
morning,
I'm not going to be
on the-
complaining.
There you go.
You write that down.
We better.
How people drive. Did you drill down into any of these answers?
No, we just asked moreover just general topics. So we had 29 topics in total that we asked about. We asked about people's relationships to, one another. Do they complain about coworkers, significant others? We even asked if people complain about like passwords and verification codes and how annoying it is to have to put in 12 different codes to get into an account. But we didn't specifically break down the portions about driving.
But like on the driving, was there something in particular like not using turn signals or tailgating or waving improperly?
Yeah, with that middle finger.
We did not take that data, but I'm sure that would be number one.
See, when you agreed to do this interview,
She had no clue.
you had no clue what you were getting yourself into, did
So
you?
she's going to go complain to her boss. Don't put me on that
That's right.
again.
Don't ever get me lined up with these guys ever again. So, do you guys do these surveys frequently of different things?
Yes, we do. We do states that are the most disciplined. So we do actually have some data on driving about that. We do a variety of different surveys just about how Americans relate to one another. Preply is a company that is about communication, and so they love to learn how we communicate with one another and how we kind of set up our lives. So yeah, we do a lot of surveys like this
We need to-
with driving components, interestingly enough.
So,
we,
I mean,
we need
do
to be on her panel of.
we need to be on your complaint panel.
Yeah.
And the go-to guys that complain about everything all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? When we do one specifically about driving complaints, the first email will be to you.
That's
Perfect,
it.
perfect.
Bars?
Perfect.
Yes.
We'll be ready. We'll
Okay,
be looking for it.
we're ready for you.
And we have friends.
Oh yeah, we got lots of friends, especially in the car business. Whether they bought a car, selling a car, whether they sell parts or services, whatever. We're car connected, so we've got that going for us, or not. Not sure.
Depends on
It,
what.
it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stolen
Oh,
car.
You know
God,
what? The more the merrier. The more the merrier.
absolutely. Now, where are you located?
I'm located in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
Oh, Orlando.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. So, did you ever work for Disney?
No, I never worked for Disney.
No. Are you from there originally?
I've been living here for about 20 years. I'm
Okay.
from New Jersey originally, but basically.
Yeah, basically. Okay. Well, good. Well, because, at some time or another, I would like to think, and this is my own sick way of thinking, that, when you think of Orlando, you think of, amusement parks or places to go and things to do. And it's all, visitor related. And I think that would be good. So is the company that's behind all of this, are they located there, or are you a remote operator?
No, I'm a remote operator. The company that did all this, they have their bases kind of in the UK, but they're an international company. So they're a language learning app, and they also have tutors, and they have tutors all across the country, actually all across the world, really. And they tutor people in over 50 different languages. They have 44,000 tutors. So everybody in this operation is very kind of spread out.
Well, I find it fascinating, and you're an excellent representative, and we love
Thank you.
talking to you, and we love your smile and all of the information that you bring about complaining. Somebody's got to complain about something, and let's drill it down to cars and driving habits.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a lovely Saturday morning.
Well, we're so glad, and I know that you've got big lunch plans, and I know that we're invited, but there is that distance thing, so we'll have a hamburger with you from Jack in the Box or something.
And we'll complain
Sounds
about
good.
it.
All right,
I don't want to go to Jack in the Box.
Rachel, thank you again, honey. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
You do the same.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. That's interesting. He's not going to make it to the rest of the show without complaining. You realize that.
I'm going to do my
But I
best.
wrote it down. 9:38, right there.
9:38, right there.
I haven't complained yet. Yet.
I was going to say, we got time.
Let's see. I was just going to say we're only 5 minutes into this self-inflicted gunshot wound that I have here. All right. We got a couple of things to get to. Is it okay if I do my car review?
Yeah, I got you all queued up.
All right. Well, very good. I'm going to do the car review now. Had a chance to drive the 2025. This is my first 25 model car, the Mazda CX-70. This is a standard SUV. It's bigger than you think. Available trim levels, the 3.3 turbo, 3.3 turbo S, the plug-in hybrid PHEV, and then it goes down into other things called the preferred package, the premium plus package. Lots of options. They package all of these things together, and you get a little bit better deal as opposed to picking each one of the features that you want on your car. Again, standard SUV, seats 5, so it's only a 2-row. And I'll tell you what, I appreciate 3-row SUVs. There's no doubt about that. But I have to tell you that the 2-row SUV works for me. Now, if you've got a growing family, then you may want to look at a 3rd row, and if that's the case, then you want the CX-90 from Mazda. Mm-hmm. That's really the big difference between the 70 and the 90. I had found that out. It's all new for 2025. This is a brand new vehicle. Conservative, modern styling with familiar Mazda logoed grille, huge slab side doors. Redefined rear lighting with fastback style hatch glass. Great wheel offerings depending on the model. Here's the question. Is Mazda positioning itself toward a luxury line of vehicles?
Ooh.
That's the question that I have after being in this. Jeff, you saw it. Mm-hmm. You went, wow, this is really nice.
Car. Yeah.
It's beautiful. And that goes to the interior. Interior highlights, high-quality seat design and materials with, get this, an Alcantara dash accent that really gives it a real sense of luxury. In-floor storage under the rear seat, which is good. Colors with materials options are awesome in this. The dash instrument cluster is good. Cargo trunk room, awesome with that less 3rd row seat back there, so you can actually put stuff in the back. What I liked about it, the overall layout gets an A from Mr. A. What could use improvement? Now, this does not go under the complaints division that we talked about, okay? The infotainment operation has always been cumbersome in the Mazda line. Now it seems outdated and it needs a brand overhaul. That is my complaint, if you will, about the Mazda line. 3.3-liter inline 6-cylinder with, get this, 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. It acts like a V8. Transmission, 8-speed automatic, tow rating 5,000 pounds. As far as gas mileage is concerned, 23 city, 28 highway for a combined of 25. I got 26.1 over 290.9 miles. Again, plenty of power, V8-like smoothness to it as well. Ride and handling, smooth, car-like. What could use improvement? It's heavy. 4,863 pounds, 2.5 tons basically. Mm-hmm. Base trim price, I didn't say it was cheap. Base trim price $55,950. Prices tested $57,920. But guess what? That fits right in with all of its competitors, as you'll find out here. Base model price, you can get in one of these for $40,445. Competitors, Honda Passport, $41,900. Jeep Grand Cherokee, $36,495. These are entry-level prices now. VW Atlas Cross Sport, $36,985. So they're right in that $40,000 entry level. But boy, I'll tell you what, this is one nice vehicle. And I'm telling you, I have a feeling, based on what I saw with this vehicle, that they are headed toward coming up with a premium line. They're going to call it something. I don't know what it is, but this thing it's as close to premium as you can get. And this is a Mazda, my friend.
Yeah, so a couple of the others have done that, kind of stepped out with a premium line because they don't want to lose.
Toyota's got Lexus.
Yep.
Name them. I mean, they've all got a premium brand, and this one, you'll probably get it soon. And when you do, I think that you're going to agree with me. You're going to go, wow, man, this is a Mazda?
I'd be really glad to see that because my wife's car, we had to go out of our way to find a mid-size SUV that only was 2 rows, that didn't have that third row.
Right.
So
right.
I like that idea because it just seems to have much more room for what we do.
I was just going to say, because not everybody needs a third row.
Right.
Or if they have a third row, they don't use it very often, if at all.
Yeah, that's us,
Yeah. Okay, now, Mr. Mars, I have something lined up for you, and I'm not complaining yet.
Could throw that in.
But we do have the events calendar. Did we do that already?
Yes.
We did that.
We're gonna
That's
do
the one
history.
that threw our timing out.
I'm sorry. Okay, this is This Week in Automotive History. Let's do that.
Very good. So this past week in automotive history, June the 23rd, 1966, the National Traffic and Safety Motor Vehicle Act was passed in the United States. And this is the legislation that led to the mandatory federal safety standard of vehicles, crash test basically. And it's actually done a lot to improve automotive safety thanks to our family of crash test dummies that have worked real well over the years. Then on June the 26th, 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. This is what created the interstate highway system. And it created the interstates across, and it just really changed the way that Americans traveled because they had so much easier access to get around the world. Then on June the 27th in 1985, naturally, U.S. Route 66 was officially decertified on this date. Now, this is they decided that they removed all the highway signs, designated that it was a highway in 1926 from Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California, across 2,200 miles, and they just took all the signs down and said this is no longer a big highway. June the 28th in 1953, the Chevrolet Corvette, the iconic American sports car, was first produced, and it was known for its distinctive design and powerful performance, and it's still going, 8 generations now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then in June the 29th in 1964, the production of the Ford Mustang began at the Dearborn Assembly Plant in Michigan. And it also created it was a very successful and enduring muscle car.
That was at Dearborn Assembly and not at the Rouge River plant?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know
That's when it started.
Huh.
So it created the whole pony car era, the Camaros came out and then the Challengers and the Cudas. I mean, it really changed things.
I've been to the Michigan Assembly Plant. I think you have too.
Mm-hmm.
We went there it was a truck factory at the time that we visited.
Okay, yeah. So that was this past week in automotive history.
Wow. Well, that was quick.
Mm-hmm. Trying to make up for the events.
There you go.
The ever ongoing events calendar that went into October of...
Okay, complaining.
Nope, I'm not. I'm just making a point that it went into October of this
just
year.
making an observation.
Close.
But some of these events, you start looking at them, you got to do some planning if you're going to go off to some of the Arkansas events and stuff. You might want to plan your vacation. So trying to reach out there, some of them a little bit further out so people can plan.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank
Makes
you
sense.
very much for that. I can't get over the interview with Rachel. I really liked her, and I liked her information. Can't get over it. All right. We have some news stories from Automotive News. A Michigan experiential marketing firm that creates exhibits at the Detroit Auto Show and other trade events around the country has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Dun, dun, dun.
The filing does not specify a reason for financial insolvency, but it comes as EEI Global's core business faces immense stress. Many trade shows, including the Detroit Auto Show, are a shell of what they were before companies pulled back spending on traditional experiential marketing to adapt to shifting consumer trends. Auto shows were once critical for car makers to reach buyers, but that has changed. Many automakers and suppliers have scaled back their participation in trade shows in favor of unveiling vehicles and products on their own terms using social media.
Yeah.
EEI's clients include some of the world's top auto brands such as Chevrolet, Cadillac, BMW, and Ram, according to its website. It also does business with top suppliers, including Magna International, Denso, and American Axle and Manufacturing. Those are huge companies that supply the automotive business. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because we're behind.
Well, let's take care of that. We're going to take a quick break, and we will have more after this brief message.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Thank you for joining us here on today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. 2 luxury vehicles were stolen by one or more thieves who texted the delivery drivers and provided new drop-off locations.
Oh.
One theft involved hacking into the delivery company's dispatch system to obtain details about the vehicle and where it was to be taken. That information was enough to convince the driver the new instructions were legitimate. The criminal actually hacked into the driver's portal and knew what vehicles were being transported, according to Stephen Yarev, CEO of Dealer's Choice Auto Transport.
Wow.
The thief happened to reach out to the driver, acting as if he was the receiving party, and gave him all the right information, told him where the car is supposed to go. After the 2024 Mercedes Maybach GLS 600, worth about $200,000, was dropped off, Yarev discovered what happened and texted the thief, "You stole from the wrong guy." The person replied, "That's what the guy with the Cullinan said as well. And thanks for the free Maybach dog. Thanks for the free Maybach dog."
The transportation company, have we had them on? Dealer's Choice? Have we had them on before? Sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar.
It does sound
I think
familiar.
that we may have had them on.
We may have had them on the air.
Oh, my God. I think you may have to give them a call, Mars.
Yeah.
And talk to them and say, "Hey, would you like to..."
I'm looking for my Maybach.
I'm looking for my Maybach. Dog. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that was
That was good.
an interesting story. We got more coming up in the next hour, and we got more of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and that's all going to happen right after another quick break. So we invite you to stay with us.
Yep.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest, and the original charm that help make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Yeah. This is the world's favorite place to go for fun and informative car talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. And coming up, you know, I did want to note that Windstream and Kinetic did not have a flatulence episode this morning, and we are here to bring you the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, coming to you from the Sugar Shack Studios just outside Houston. So thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, I think. So, I've missed a page that
It's okay.
I'm trying to backpedal and find it, but I can't find it, so I think I found it.
Very good.
All right. We're going to talk to Jesse Coletto here in just a second about eFire X. And it's an important story because we all hear and have actually seen, and in fact, I watched a video this week of a fire taking place on an EV. Mm-hmm. You can't put it out. It's like a magnesium fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't put it out. So anyway, we're going to talk to him. And then Jeff is going to have a special report about, I put here movie prop cars because Mars gave me the information that it was a prop. I'm thinking, a prop, like a car that was used in a movie. Well,
you're just going to be enthralled because it's about propellers.
You're going to be so excited.
Yeah.
Propellers.
Yeah.
You didn't put that in there.
No.
You put prop. You know, I'm going to come over there and slap you.
That's 9:38. It's now 10:01.
It is. And that wasn't a complaint. That was a threat.
It was a promise.
A promise. So there's that. Jesse Coletto is with a company called eFire X. Jesse, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, hey, where are you? Where are you speaking to us from?
Reno, Nevada.
Reno, Nevada.
Reno.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They got a big car show coming up.
They do.
Yeah.
Coming up here pretty soon in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to go to that?
Hot August nights.
Hot August nights. Do you go?
Yeah, I'll be there for sure. I'm a car collector. I have 2 old VWs and cruise them around.
And look at the smile on his face.
I know, he's all happy about that.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about eFire X. How did you get involved with this?
Yeah, so, I'm a retired firefighter. I was a firefighter for 25 years here in Clark County in Nevada and Las Vegas and finished my career in Reno, Nevada. And, 4 years ago, I started seeing the advancement of EV cars in the market, right? And, I just noticed that they were not going anywhere. And we were coming across, a couple of fires, as you mentioned, they're hard, to put out just with water and any other foam type agents that, currently are in the market. So, my background is, business marketing degree but became a firefighter and I just knew I saw a problem and, decided to come up with a solution.
And so what is the name of the product?
So the product, the agent itself is called Triple E. And the reason why it's called Triple E, because the agent's only composed of 3 ingredients that go into the formula. And they're all natural ingredients. And the company is eFireX. And what this agent is, so as you know, lithium batteries, very, very difficult to put out.
Right.
And the reason being is because they're self-oxidizing. And our current agents in the market are smotherers type agents, meaning they lay on top to suffocate the oxygen from coming above.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Fire increases, right? Well, lithium's a whole different, beast, because these smother agents just sit on top, and the lithium fires are just saying, okay, I'm just going to wait till you dissipate and break through again, right? That's your thermal runaway. That's what we're seeing happen. After each firefighter comes in and knocks the fire down, the next thing you know, it reignites, 10, 20, 30 minutes later. So that's the issue with the current agents right now. So what I decided to do is I needed to develop something that is well advanced and actually travels inside that battery cell and or around the casing itself and bonds with it and just redirects that oxygen from igniting other battery cells to the actual formula. So I was able to create that and find the solution to knocking down and extinguishing that oxygen process of those lithium batteries.
Now, is it available only to firefighters, or can I get a hold of it?
Yeah, so right now, the concentration was with the launch, the plan and, what we, decided to roll out with is to, arm our, first responders, right, throughout the nation, every municipality and, city, get them well equipped to, fight these fires, because they're the first responders, right? They're the ones that arrive on scene immediately. Then our second, process, which actually we just launched our new website, and we're pretty excited about that, which is our consumer, component of it. And this is where, the public will be able to, get online and order our fire extinguishers, through online. And we're working right now with major retailers to get the product in shelves in their retail store. So, everyone that owns some sort of EV, either be a bike, scooter, that they're storing in their garage or in their home or in their apartment, they could, buy the extinguisher and have it on site.
Is it packaged like a regular fire extinguisher? Like the kind that we can buy at whatever, the kind that you can hang right next to the stove if you've got some sort of grease fire, or in the garage if you have a gasoline fire. Yep. Is it packaged that way?
Exactly. So it's packaged just exactly like the current extinguishers we see in the market right now. The extinguisher comes with a wall hook, that you can brace to your wall, either in your garage, kitchen, and wherever you have your EV plugged in and stuff like that. So yes, we fall under all the guidelines that UL Solutions and NFPA put together for the current fire extinguishers. We fall under all those guidelines as well. So all of them come very well equipped for any consumer to apply.
How much does it cost? Like $5,000 for one bottle of this stuff?
Yeah, that's what's pretty amazing. So, the ingredient in, the formula, it's an all natural, formula. There's no chemicals involved. And the reason being for that is because one thing, being a firefighter, we, through the whole industry, and we're just seeing it now, right? Because we're seeing a lot of, firemen, throughout the nation, start, popping up with some sort of cancer, and which is pretty unfortunate because we've been using all these agents with chemical base, right? So in designing this technology, I didn't need it to add any chemical, right? Because I found the exact, formula to extinguish these, lithium battery fires. And it's a micro technology as well. So, I was able to compose everything of natural ingredients, are very inexpensive, which allows me to, have the pricing very inexpensive for the consumer as well.
Interesting. Where can you get this stuff?
Right now, we're online at efirex.com, www.efirex.com. And as I mentioned, we're just rolling out our distribution agreements with major retailers. One of them being Napa Auto Parts. We've met with them. I'm going to be flying to Atlanta here in August, and signing a deal with them. So it could be on their shelves all over Napa, all over the nation, and current other retailers as Home Depot's, Grainger, and your Lowe's and stuff like that. So we're pretty excited about the rollout.
So if I've got my EV in the garage, and how big of a fire extinguisher would I need if it caught on fire?
Yeah, so if it's if you have a car, I would say, either a 2-liter fire extinguisher, because you got to remember, the whole point of the extinguisher, and this goes for the current extinguishers in the market as well, is you have that 30 to 60 second time frame from noticing the fire to grabbing the extinguisher and knocking that fire out and getting it controlled before the fire department gets there, right? We always recommend, first thing you should do is call 911. As you notice the fire, either be your EV or, combustible type fire, grab the extinguisher and knock it down right away. The whole point of, the extinguisher is not to try to fight the fire like firefighters do, right? We want the public to exit the house. But what this agent's going to do compared to the current agent in the market, this agent's actually going to activate and put that fire out, as you knock it down, your initial knockdown. So a 2-liter fire extinguisher in your garage will definitely do that job for you. There's plenty of agent in there that if you notice a fire in your EV, car, it will knock it down, and they'll, deploy all the agent out of that extinguisher and get out of the house and let the fire department do the rest.
Well, one of the questions that I have for you is that, from my knowledge, most of the batteries for these cars is, generally speaking, under the floorboard. How are you? And I can only imagine you just have some sort of runaway event, and under the floorboard. How in the world are you going to get to it?
Yeah, so once you notice a fire that's in thermal runaway, it's going to have a breach point. It's going to expose itself. Because lithium doesn't have we call it it doesn't have an incipient phase, right? It doesn't have stages of growth. It's 0 to 3,000 degrees immediately. Your typical ordinary fire has stages, right? It has your ordinary stage, and it grows and needs more oxygen to keep growing. Lithium, man, soon as that thermal runaway and that little white smoke starts seeping away, within seconds, that flame is going to, penetrate through that plastic or titanium, casing. What's beautiful about the agent and the technology, it's a micro technology, meaning if you think of little squares suspended in an agent that's non-water based, and these little squares, when they contact heat at a certain amount, which is around 700 degrees, they activate as an accordion. One side of that square will bond with the source, and the other component will just act as an accordion, start sucking the oxygen out of it. So as these little squares, if the batteries are not exposed, but you notice a big heat source, just spray it on that casing, because it's going to bond with that casing and it's going to suck and redirect that oxygen from those battery cells to the actual agent itself. And with our testing, we've tested the agent with titanium, plastic, you name it, metal, and it stops. It redirects that heat source to the agent itself, and you'll see like a boiling effect on the agent. It's kind of like a cocoon effect. We call it the word that we use in the municipalities and with the fire departments is encapsulation. It encapsulates the actual casing of those batteries, and it redirects all the heat source to the actual agent itself. So it's pretty incredible. This micro technology is the future of firefighting, as the future of agents with no chemicals, no PFAS, no PFOS, and it's pretty exciting, to introduce it to the market.
Well, I know that when we have these great big huge chemical plant explosions and ultimately fires here in the Houston area, and goodness knows we've got a whole city just to the east of us over here that we can see it. I know that once it gets out of control, that they will bring in these great big plastic containers of some sort of firefighting foam. But when they bring it in, it's just in a liquid. And I guess that when they add the water to it is when it turns into this foam. Yours isn't that particular kind, though, is it?
No, and Michael, a great point there, because one of the things that when that foam when water is introduced to that foam agent, that liquid, the chemical reaction, that's the expansion you see.
Yes,
and that's the smothering that you need to lay out fuel source to cut off the oxygen, right?
Right.
I remove that from the agent itself. So with my agent, with Triple E, you're not going to see that expansion anymore. But that layer of, liquid still going to, apply to that fuel source and knock that fire out. And the microtechnologies that's within that liquid, that's the activation. It's already acting within and knocking down the fire and consuming all that heat source and toxins coming out of that, those fuel type fires. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, well, going back to the smothering effect of that agent for chemical fires and gasoline, petroleum-related chemicals, that foam stays on the ground for a long time. And, especially over there where all of our chemical plants are mainly concentrated along the Houston Ship Channel, if they get enough of it on there, it's to get this runoff effect into Galveston Bay, down the Ship Channel, and ultimately into the Gulf of Mexico. And I can imagine that's not very good for the environment.
Not good at all, and that's what we're experiencing right now throughout the nation, actually, and actually world. It's these forever chemicals, they call them. They've been now they're finding traces on water sources within municipalities, cities, counties, because all this foam stuff that we've been applying, thinking it was going to dissipate and biodegrade within time, has never left, right? It's in our water sources. It's everywhere you go, you hear about it now. So that's a big issue, especially with the marine life, because the runway, that's where it's going, right? So I'm pretty excited about this invention here and releasing Triple E and E-Fire-X to the industry, because it's something that's very well needed, and it's going to change the way we look at agents and firefighting, and it's something that also is going to keep up with the times with technology, with EVs, right, and lithium, and as it moves forward. So I'm pretty excited.
I would be pumped up about it too. Well, the other thing is that I know that there are more and more and more. The public, I don't think, is really aware of it. These great big 18-wheelers that are autonomous, so there's no human being in there, and outside of accidents, I can only imagine if there's some sort of component that goes bad and you start a lithium fire in one of these. Granted, they have things built into these 18-wheelers where they'll pull themselves off to the side of the road. But I can only imagine an 18-wheeler battery in a runaway mode and a firefighter getting out there going, what can I do?
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up, because right now we're just seeing cars, right?
Right.
And like you're saying, and they're pumping out these semi-trucks, 18-wheelers, they're pumping out the school buses. So these, they're mandated to have a suppression system within the battery casing of these big, vehicles. But that suppression system, if you could take a wild guess of the performance that it's how effective it's gonna work with those lithium batteries, the manufacturer is stating that it's only going to be 30% effective in putting out the initial fire of these, especially in the school bus, because the school buses, you're carrying your kids, you're carrying commuting them to school, right? And the semi trucks, 30% is what the manufacturer is saying. So we're really falsifying the public and telling them, there's a fire suppression system, on these vehicles. When that suppression system, the manufacturer's telling you, it's only effective for 30%, So it's a big eye opener, and I'm a big advocate. I'm really, I call it steering the pot, really, because I want to bring education to the, not only the public but the city officials, Congress and Senate, and saying, hey, look,
you look like one of those radicals from the 1960s. I'm telling you that right now. You're just an old hippie. I know. I can see that look on your face.
He's too young.
Right.
He's too young.
Jesse, it's great to talk to you. efirex.com.
Correct.
Yeah,
right.
Well, good. Listen, man, what a great interview. Very informative. We sure appreciate you joining us today. Best of luck. Keep us posted. You got anything new coming out, let us know.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And see you guys at Hot August Nights in Reno, Nevada.
There you go.
Take care, Jesse Coletto with efirex.com.
Wow.
Can't get enough? Most people can't. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and new daily podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, at InWheelTime.com, Saturdays 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show will continue right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
But I was complaining. So I told you that I would not.
9:38. Yeah.
So 9:38, and I slipped and complained.
Well, no, you were just you were explaining an experience of your
work environment.
Yeah, work environment.
Propeller motivated aircraft.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, they really bother me.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because after they get out of maintenance, they take it out there in the taxiway and
wind
go,
it up.
Forever and ever. And they never blow up. It's amazing.
It's like those little rubber band airplanes. I was going to use one of them as a cover on here, but I decided.
No, that's why I send you the.
No, but you have to understand something. That wasn't the prop car that you told me that we were going to do.
Well, that looks like a prop car.
No, that's a propeller car.
Well,
here's Jeff with this week's Inside Jeff's Mind. Close the door.
There you go.
Here we go.
They're cool, except for the blades, which could quickly dissect unsuspecting birds, critters, or even people. This first one that we see here is a 1932 Helicron. The Helicron was found in a barn in the year 2000. It featured a propeller to help
That's
it move.
That's exactly like that aircraft out there on the runway I was just telling you about.
It's believed to have been abandoned in the late 1930s and underwent a restoration to bring it back to life.
Why?
The propellers would have proved to be a real man-eater At a test in 2016, bystanders would throw sausages into the motion of the blade and let the sausages get all shredded up.
Yeah. Great.
It actually has a Citroen.
July 4th idea.
Yeah, Citroen GS flat 4 engine in it, and it goes about 75 miles per
Citroen.
hour.
You're talking about a Citroen.
Citroen.
Yes,
Citroen.
one of them French things.
Yep.
How about this beauty here?
It's a 1921 Layet Helica. The 1921 Layet Helica is one of 30 built by Frenchman Marcel Layet. He originally built airplanes before creating the propeller-powered land vehicle. His early thoughts were cars were too heavy, and he wanted to create something more lightweight and aerodynamic. This particular one uses a Harley-Davidson V-twin engine, 18 horsepower, 1,000 cc's, and it helps propel the vehicle at a top speed of 106 miles per hour.
So I assume that the propeller is in front of the driver.
I would assume that, yeah.
Here's a good one.
This one's a Stuttgart Ventomobil.
Stuttgart.
Ventomobil. This one is powered. It's a newer propeller-operated vehicle. This is one of the newer ones. The propeller acts as a wind turbine and uses moving air to propel the car in the back wheels. So that's kind of a unique design. It's kind of new. This the vehicle was created by the Stuttgart University Aerospace.
So do you get out and push it to get the wind to go through the blade?
I don't know, but we need to take it out to the track next Saturday. Stuttgart University aerospace engineer students in 2008 designed it, and they went on to win first place in the Alias race of the Dutch town of Dan Helder. So
I remember old Dan.
I think he was a musician. This next one is a Schlorwagen.
A what?
A Schlorwagen.
Schlorwagen.
The automobile is a vision brought to life by a German engineer, Karl Schlor. The oddly shaped car was designed to be a contender for setting new records in the Autobahn. Sadly, it never got close to living to that dream. Schlor had
got a real sour taste to it.
No, it's picklish. Knowledge of planes and wanted to bring some of that to the tech auto industry. The original concept was built in 1936 and showcased at the 1939 Berlin Auto Show. It was shelved due to the onset of World War II.
Yeah.
So if the war hadn't started, you would be seeing
They could have gone over there and mowed down all those Germans.
All of the Walmart
ground them
parking
all
lots
up right
around
in
the
there.
world. It would have been parked there, all kinds of stuff. Now the last one is an Argentina Aerocar. It's a prototype from Argentina that was created in 1953. There are claims that it was able to travel up to 100 miles per hour. There was a time when there was speculation that it would be considered for mass production in the United States, which never happened. Also, there was rumors fueled that interest by the Chrysler Corporation showed in the car that would ultimately meet its demise in 1955. So it was actually a car up until 1955. There you go.
Huh.
Propeller-driven automobiles.
I have so many thoughts in my mind right now about what to do with the prop cars.
Prop cars.
You know, it's interesting. Where did you come up with that idea to do a feature on propeller cars?
I just do stuff on the interweb and kind of look for things to do, and that popped up as one of the...
He does a search for stupid car stuff.
Well, I mean...
It's interesting. It's funny.
It's nothing to complain about.
I'm not complaining at all. I'm congratulating
Not since 938.
Well, there you go. So...
If folks are just joining us, you need to tune back into the 938 part of the show.
Yeah, don't do that.
Catch it on the podcast.
Catch it on the podcast later on.
Podcast.
When would the 938 podcast air, Mars?
Thursday?
Is it Thursday?
Thursday
podcast, okay. Hey, today's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station. Also, Gulf Coast Auto Shield and our friends over at Pro-Am Auto Accessories. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It's on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
I'm going to use this intro again because it was so good.
Sure.
And so appropriate.
Help yourself.
If that's okay with you guys.
You wrote it.
I know, and I want to do it again. Windstream and Kinetic didn't have a flatulence episode this morning, and you get to see, hear, and be a part of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show today, coming to you from the Sugar Shack Studios just outside Houston. Coming up, we talk to a guy by the name of Torsten Gross, and we're going to get involved in the National Mobility Awareness Month video, sponsored by, well, I'll tell you about all that coming up here in just a minute. And we're going to talk to him about that. And later on, we're going to have the cruise-in calendar. And we're also going to talk about a couple of the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we always need Jeff Zekin. Mm-hmm. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that could you join us on the last half hour of our live show, 10:30 here in the Houston, Texas area, Central Time Zone. So wherever you're listening or watching us, we thank you very much for doing that. Wonder what time it is right now in Brazil. What time is it in Copenhagen? What time is it in Moscow? We've got viewers, listeners, and followers in all those cities, and so it's like I don't even know how to say. Hey, it's in the morning here.
Yeah, that's it.
It's in the morning here. That's it. Okay. Joining us now is Torsten Gross, and he joins us because we're going to talk about National Mobility Awareness Month. And obviously, us being a car talk show, we're mobile, but not everybody is. Those are those folks that have handicaps. And Torsten, good morning. I'm not going to try to get into all of that. I'm going to let you lead the discussion here. It's great to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so tell us what Pennzoil is doing and in the Universal Joy of Driving and National Mobility Awareness Month. Tell me a little bit about you first.
So I'm a C6 quadriplegic in a wheelchair. And
what is it? Wait a minute. Because to me, a C6 is a Corvette with a certain number of years, C6. So tell me what a C6 quadriplegic is.
All right, a C6 means that I broke my 6th vertebrae down in my neck. So we've got eight vertebrae in our neck, and then we've got, I think, 12 in our back. And so that means I have 4 limbs compromised. So meaning my hands, right? So 1, 2. And then both my legs, 3, 4.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you're here with us and talking to us today. And I see that your shirt is just hands. I like that. So tell us how you got involved in this organization and tell me about it.
Yeah. So I've been, I race cars. I race a 981 Porsche Cayman, and I track at Lime Rock. I track all around the country. But Lime Rock Park is my home track, and I got introduced to Pennzoil, and my first job with Pennzoil was I was in a couple commercials with them about a year and a half ago, And the bigger our relationship became, they really believe in what I'm doing and what my foundation is doing, which we can talk about in a moment. They then got me together with Joey Logano. And the joke always was, how do you teach the two-time NASCAR champion how to drive? Well, don't let him use his legs. So we actually I taught him how to use hand controls at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that's what we recorded.
Oh my gosh. I cannot even imagine such a thing. I mean, that would be like having me use hand controls in my Corvette.
Yeah. It's what's interesting though is that your hand-eye coordination is faster than your eye-foot coordination. So I actually can teach anybody how to drive with hand controls faster than you would actually think. It's more intuitive than one would actually believe. So yeah, it's fun, and you would assume Joey Logano would. Well, you wouldn't assume anything. Most people take it slow. Most people take it slow. On the second lap, Joey's going full throttle with hand controls. I'm just going, yeah, I guess he is two-time NASCAR champion. He knows how to drive. So it was a great experience.
No kidding. So tell me now about the organization and what you're trying to promote here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, driving with hands is actually and racing cars is the only thing for disabled people, the only sport that exists that makes us equal to able-bodied people. You and I will never do a marathon in the same division. You and I will never ski in the same division. You and I will never play basketball in the same division. However, race car driving, the car doesn't care that I'm in a chair. You don't know that I'm in a chair unless you saw me in the paddock before I got in the car.
Right.
So it makes us 100% equal. And to me, that is something, once I experienced that, once I found that, I had to share that with other people. So I started the Just Hands Foundation, and that gets people who are in chairs who use hand controls behind the wheel of track cars.
How exciting. I mean, what a great idea. What a great thing. We had our good friend, Rodney Rodriguez, who's a track announcer for lots of small racetracks around Houston and San Antonio, Austin, that sort of thing. And he was talking about a new event that they've got out on our 3/8 mile asphalt circle track here, and that's the Everyday Guys car race. So you can bring whatever car you drive every day and put it out on the racetrack with, a dozen of your friends and get out there and go for it. I'm thinking, you could be out there and nobody would ever know, but you're racing with hand controls.
Yeah,
whooping them.
I won my division in SCCA regionals a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So I think it surprised everybody at the Lime Rock race, because it surprised everybody when they saw me get out in my wheelchair going, didn't see that coming. But you know what? At the end of the day, people always ask, well, are you going to do a wheelchair league or something like that? I'm like, no, the whole point is that I am just as competitive to anybody, right? Like, it doesn't matter who they are. And so I'm not going to start my own league. I'm going to go make people feel bad about themselves, whether they can use their legs or not, by beating them.
Were you into racing before you lost the ability to use your legs?
No, so this is my 30th year in a chair, and I've only been on track for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And for some reason, I guess I'm good at it. I mean, I don't know if you know anything about Lime Rock, but I'm doing a 57.7 around Lime Rock, so I'm hauling butt.
No fear.
It's good, it's just something that I picked up quickly, and I love it. So I'm at the track at least once or twice a week. I live 7 miles away from Lime Rock, but so I'm there a lot. But for you guys, I've done COTA as well. I did, an endurance race at COTA. That was a thrill. So yeah, I'm getting around.
Well, go ahead.
I'm trying to visualize how you would do that on a track. My father's van has hand controls in it, and I drive it every once in a while. And, the braking and everything by hand, and I'm trying to imagine on a track, trying to do the steering,
hitting the apex,
braking, accelerating, all of it. I mean, you said earlier your hands are a lot quicker, but I just, in my mind, I'm trying to visualize you doing that.
Yeah, so I with my left hand, I'm steering. And with my right hand, it's turn for gas and push for brake. Now, I chose specifically a Porsche, or you can choose a BMW too, because they've got dual clutch transmissions, right? So Porsche has a PDK and a BMW has a DCT. So that actually makes you as fast as somebody that shifts manually, right? Because of how smart they are. However, there's still two parts at Lime Rock and different places where I want to be able to shift. So I'm working with a hand control company called Mobility Innovations. They design everyday hand controls. These hand controls have been around for 30 years. Little innovations here and there, but generally speaking, about 30 years.
Right.
I have now worked with them to be able to shift with my fingers. So we have an upshift and a downshift. So I've moved the paddles from behind the wheel to my hand controls. Now they also work behind the wheel too, so that when I'm doing a team race, an able-bodied person can hop in the car and still use paddles behind the wheel, but I'm able to shift just with my fingers.
Wow.
Kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, do you feel? I mean, I would be really proud and really motivated to further this whole thing and let everybody else that has a disability to take part in all of this. I mean, what a great thing that you're doing.
I appreciate that. We have a car at Spa. We have a car in Nürburgring. We have a car at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and one at Lime Rock. And we are looking now this year, because of Pennzoil's support of us, we now have the ability to grow this, and we're looking for arrive and drives all around the country to put hand controls in. Because I think what would surprise you is that it takes an hour to put one in, and once it's been put in, it only takes 1 minute to put it in and take it out. So what I mean by that is we're not making a car just a handicapped car, right, for disabled drivers, but rather you guys can drive the car, and then if I want to hop in, it takes 1 minute to put it in.
After the initial,
After the initial installation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The initial install takes about a couple hours, kind of like a seat, right? A seat takes a couple hours to put it in for the first time, but then you can swap out seats fairly easily because they've been put in for the first time.
Right. You
Same
won't be
thing for
able
hand
to
controls.
you won't be able to see this, but we're going to show our video followers this video that Joey Logano has done on your behalf, and I'm sure that you were involved in it. So we're going to play that, and you're more than welcome to use. You've seen it a dozen times. You know
Yes.
what the video is going to be like. So you just go ahead and continue talking and tell us how all of this works and the importance of this video for everybody.
Yeah, I think the idea of mobility awareness is not just for disabled people. I see my role, and I see car racing and track driving as an exercise in creativity anyway. So you might be fat, short, skinny, tall, right? Like there's the configurations of one's body, how strong you are, right? All that kind of stuff. What type of driver you are. It lends itself to different setups. And as you guys know very well, like it's about creativity. You don't just kind of say, well, this is what a car should be and stop, right? It's what kind of driver are you? And that's what I loved working with Joey. We talked about how different setups are different. Like, let's think about NASCAR. You look at a NASCAR and it looks like a regular car. But the physicality of driving that is fundamentally different than driving any type of regular car, right? It's really strenuous. And so the video you guys are watching is me showing him how I do it, right? Specifically, and how I turn for gas and push for brake. And, I just want to encourage and motivate anybody, disabled or not, to just say, what does my drive look like, right? How do I make it work for me? And get creative with it. Right? There's no right or wrong answer. That's what I love about all this.
Have you done any drag racing?
I have not. My wife has kind of said, we get to have one race car. Let's stick with one hobby. Drag racing becomes a second hobby, right? It becomes very expensive very fast.
Yeah. Well, the only reason that I say that is because I'm sure that there are lots of folks in your condition that go to the drag race that would love to learn about this technology, all forms of racing.
All forms of racing. That's what's really great about the hand controls. They can be transferable into an ATV. They can be put into a drag car. They can be put into an off-road car. and for me, a road race car, right? So it's transferable. So anything with 2 pedals, right, or even 3 pedals to a degree, can be used by us, right? And so Just Hands is starting on the road tracks, right, like COTA, like Sebring, those types of tracks. But the goal is to expand and get into any place where you just use your hands.
I did want to mention to everybody that if you want to see and hear the actual video, you can go to Pennzoil's YouTube channel. It's on there. Is there another place that we can go and see the video?
I think that's the main place to go. Definitely go to
yeah,
Pennzoil,
it's pretty easy to find because once you get into the Pennzoil YouTube channel, then you can put your name in. That's how we found it, and boom, it went straight to it.
Yeah, it's great. And it's a lot of fun. It actually shows our characters as well, right? We had a good time doing it.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell by the video that they edited into this piece that you look like you're really having a good time.
I mean, I get to track with the 2-time NASCAR champion, and how great is that, right? There's nothing better.
Yeah. How is Joey Logano as a person? One of the things that I was on the drag racing tour for a while, the pro drag racing tour, and let me tell you something. It's a different level when you get to a professional anything. The competitor inside of a human being becomes overachieving, shall we say.
Yeah.
And it's a different thing that if you've never been exposed to it, you're going, wait a minute, that's not just an ego thing. It's get out of my way, let me do this, and I will kick everybody's butt.
Yes, I'm going to end that and say, and they're willing to, and they want to listen, and they want to learn. What I was really, what was interesting about Joey is that he wanted to try new things. He wanted to experience something different. And I think that just makes somebody a better driver, right? Whether you're learning something that is 100% applicable to what you do or tangential to what you do, it's still giving you a different perspective of something.
Yeah.
Right? Now, yes, on lap 2, he's already full throttle with hand controls where I went, because I was in the car with him, and I'm going, okay,
yeah.
You don't know the brake pressures yet, but whatever, let's go and do it. But at the same time, I could hear him taking in what I was saying and applying that as well. And I think that just makes somebody a better driver, a better person, a better, overall rounded person.
Well, listen, it is great and an honor to have you on the show with us this morning. We sure do. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it, all the great information. National Mobility Awareness Month. Pennzoil very much involved in this. Torsten, we appreciate it again. Thank you, and best of luck to you. Stay in touch with us, especially if you come into Texas. Let us know.
I certainly will. Thank you guys for the time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
We certainly will.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
again.
You bet.
All right. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for N-Wheel Time Car Talk. Grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and NWheelTime.com. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV. But we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
By the way, I did want to remind you that the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available via email. You can always email us at info@inwheeltime.com. All right, time now for the cruise-in calendar, Jeffrey.
Well, today, Saturday, you've got one going on right now as we speak. It's Caffeine and Chrome at the Gateway Classic Cars of Houston. That is in Houston at their facility, if you know where it's at. And then tonight from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., you got the family cruise-in. That's the 3 Acres Food Truck Park in Santa Fe, Texas. Not far from you, Mike.
3 Acres Food Truck Park.
Yep, Santa Fe, Texas. And then 6 p.m. to 9
It's like
p.m.
having all of your favorite fast food restaurants within
coming to you.
Right, no, but they're right there in a big circle.
Yeah,
big circle.
There's Jack in the Box. There's McDonald's. There's Chick-fil-A.
I'm thinking not.
It's probably.
I said fast food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then at from 6 to 9 p.m. tonight, the weekly cruise in Montgomery Cruise In Montgomery.
In Montgomery, Texas.
And then 7 p.m. tonight, Rigs and Tuners by Night. It's at the Red Circle Ice Cream Parlor in Pearland, Texas. So that's tonight.
What's
ice cream.
that
I like
called?
ice cream.
Rigs and
Tuners.
Rigs and Tuners.
So it's trucks and tuners. Pickup trucks, call them a rig, that kind of thing. You never
and
knew that?
I believe that there's a big classic truck show going on in Conroe this weekend.
They're
by Todd and
that's right.
The Lone Star Throwdown guys.
Yep.
Yeah. God dang it. What's the
Todd
name?
Todd and Lonnie, and it's. Well, I'll let you look for that.
They're okay. But tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you got the All Houston Corvette Day Rally. That's in Friendswood, Texas. 2 to 5 p.m. tomorrow, you got Savage Sunday Exotic Car Show number 3 in the Heights Social. That's at 1213 West 20th Street. Now, here's something for next week. On July 3rd, I know it's a weekend here, but July 3rd, 6 p.m.
That's Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 4th annual Hot Dog Eating Contest Freedom Fest Car Show. It's in Richmond, Texas. So that's 1125 FM 359 in Richmond, Texas.
Kind of a hot dog kind of guy, aren't you?
Yeah, he is.
I am. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
4th of July at 5:30 p.m., the Freedom Celebration and Car Show, 25130 Aldine Westfield in Spring, Texas.
So the story is that I've been talking. I don't eat hot dogs, but
I like hot dogs.
I'm thinking, man, I got a hankering.
You
I
get
got a hankering for a hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to my pilot buddy, Tommy Noto, and Tommy Noto says, "Oh, I got the ones for you." I said, "I don't want the ballpark. I don't want any of those. I don't want Oscar Myers. I don't want any of the." Go to the grocery store and get Boar's Head that are in the natural casing, and they're all strung together like they had in the cartoons.
Yeah.
You got to cut them apart. He says, those are the ones. So my grocery store run tomorrow is going to be Boar's Head hot dogs. I'm going to get those, and I want to get some really nice buns and not, Little Miss Sunbeam or something like that. I don't like those. And a nice bun. Give me some chopped onions, some relish, and some mustard. And somebody said, well, wait a minute. What about, I could sprinkle some cheese on there. I'm good with that. But I don't want sauerkraut.
No.
And I don't want chili on there. No. This is not a brat. We're not putting sauerkraut on a dang Houston, Texas hot dog.
Sacrilegious.
No, it's not. No, Mr. Michigan. I'm from Wisconsin. I got the edge on the
You got the brought up on me.
I got brought up on you.
When we lived in San Antonio, the minor league AAA team would have dollar dog, dollar beer night, kind of like what Rodney was talking about. And we'd get together and go out there. We didn't care what kind of dogs they had.
No, of course
not. $20 worth of dollar beers, you don't care.
He just give me something, anything. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to George Skelton, our dear friend, and my grade school, junior high, and high school friend, who He and his wife are celebrating their 90th wedding anniversary.
91st, I think.
91st.
Yeah.
And he's also been doing some posting for us, and we appreciate that, George. Thank you very much. It's great to have you as a friend, and we love you very much, and give Twyla our best.
Happy wedding anniversary.
Yeah, happy
I think
wedding
it's not 91.
Yeah, it's only 89.
No, it's 89.
He'll tell us, I'm sure.
There's no doubt.
Or Twyla will.
I can only imagine what they're posting right now.
Oh, no.
A couple of stories that I wanted to get in before we call it a day. Cost of vehicle repairs rising. Duh. Therefore, so is the chance of customers getting hit with hefty service department bills. To ensure they don't decline the work and help them afford the repair, more dealerships are offering, ready? Droll rum? Droll rum.
I know, I got it.
Offering buy now, pay later service lane financing. Not only does it give customers more flexibility, the financing option also boosts customer satisfaction, according to some dealerships. Of course it did. According to J.D. Power, the average amount spent on premium dealership service rose from $314 in 2023 to $380 this year, a 21% increase. For mass market brands, amount rose 11% from $125 in 23 to $140 in 2024. So now you can finance your vehicle repairs.
Well, it's buy now, pay later, but that still doesn't get you in the shop any quicker.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I doubt it.
If you bring your car to us today,
we'll have it next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Ram grabbed the top spot on the J.D. Power U.S. Initial Quality Survey for the second time in 4 years, while Stellantis stablemate Dodge dropped to last place after leading the industry in 2023. Well, do they make anything in Dodge anymore? Other than the
EV?
I think that's about it now.
About it right now. Porsche ascended to the number one ranking among premium brands after being the runner-up last year to Stellantis-owned Alfa Romeo, which fell to the bottom tier in 2024. Porsche was 7th overall. Chevrolet ranked second, moving up 3 spots from last year. Hyundai jumped to 3rd place, up from 17. Kia was 4th, and Buick rounded out the top 5. GMC and Cadillac fell out of the top 10. Ford moved up from below average in 2023 to 9th place this year. Owners reported an average of 195 problems per 100 vehicles, 3 more than a year ago.
Wow.
Ram had 149 problems per 100 vehicles, and Porsche had 172. Ram did very well in numerous areas, including their infotainment system, according to Frank Hanley, Senior Director of Auto Benchmarking at J.D. Power. And this story from Automotive News. Study now in its 38th year based on responses from 99,000 people, so it's legit.
Yeah.
And Chinese automotive brands are expected to achieve 33% market share across the globe by 2030.
What?
Including a 20% market share in Mexico, according to a report by the consulting firm Alex Partners.
Wow.
For Western automakers, it's not just competing in the Chinese market, it's competing with the Chinese automakers around the globe. The Biden administration raised tariffs on Chinese EVs in May to 102.5% from a previous 27.5%. Still, Chinese manufacturers could take advantage of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. That policy may allow vehicles to enter the U.S. from Mexico duty-free if 75% of the vehicle and parts come from North America and 40% come from places where wages are $16 or more per hour. I don't have time.
Read those percentages again.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
All right. So thank you for playing. But we're going to be back here on In Wheel Time right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car's a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your car's finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Oh, stop, you're crying. Yes, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Here's my hanky. Be sure to check out our website, InWheelTime.com. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Tell your car friends about us and share our stuff. We'll keep you connected to the automotive world all week long. Love letters, suggestions, and hate mail can be sent to Mars at InWheelTime.com. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Daily 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. We post a new episode every day. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time. The In Wheel Time Video Technical Director and Wise Guy is We Need More Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars, and Chief Engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you'll join us next week here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. It's coming your way Saturday, July the 6th.
Oh,
from
boy.
8 to 11 a.m. on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend. Have a great 4th of July. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week.